Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Squares of the Round Table podcast. And of course, we're doing the Great 48. That's right. We're not talking about the 48 states or the 48 flavors in your nearby donut shop. No, we're talking about 48 years that the great Mike Edwin has made his way onto this earth. Well, and of course, happy solar return, Mike. And of course, with Jeff, how are we all doing today?
I guess we're doing okay, but I thought we had Mike Boyle.
Oh, that's right. I keep calling him by the old broadcast name. Well, some things, just old habits die hard. What can I say? Mr. Mike Boyle. My apologies. Hi. Yeah, I certainly was on 420. But that's another story.
Just another trip around the sun.
Yeah. Problem is, every time I make a trip around the sun, man, I always, I end up going to the moon and seeing all the little green men, jumping around the planets and stuff like that. Oh, that was a dream I had last night. Never mind. All right. So, anyway, let's start off with the occurrences of our lives this week. Okay, Jeff, what did you do this week?
Well, I have now found out that Surrey thinks my hottest asset is that I have a perky set of tits.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm a little confused, but hey, I'm glad it notices. Apparently, my phone has the hots for me. I don't know what else to think about.
There was a movie like that once. Does anybody remember it, where this guy was like in love with his phone assistant?
No, I don't think I know that one.
Well, there was that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix and ScarJo.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. What movie is this?
Her.
It's called Her.
Okay.
And he's in love with his phone assistant.
Yeah, it was an artsy-fartsy film.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where old boy is like enamored with the voice on the phone, and he starts romancing the phone and takes the phone places and does things with the phone, and it was very bizarre.
That's what they should have called it, romancing the phone.
Yeah.
Like romancing the stone. There we go.
Romancing the phone!
Just romancing the phone.
I can get Danny DeVito in it.
Yeah. You know what? I wonder if we could find like Kathleen Turner's daughter and like Michael Douglas's kids or something. We could put them in it or something.
Kind of do like a follow up to romancing the stone, romancing the phone.
Yeah. I don't know. Their kids or something like that, and then
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But are you John Wilder? John Wilder.
You behaving so far for Passover?
No.
It's only been Olive finished out technically. This will be the end of day 3. So far, so good.
Good.
I have not made any mental errors that I am aware of. I'm serious about this. I mean, there are times where it's like true story. Really, in reality, how I blew it most of college was because I never knew what hard alcohols were actually considered grains.
Well, yeah, because all beer has hops and wheat and barley, and
that was the obvious one. Things like whiskey were not so obvious.
I know that vodka is made from a potato, as quoted by Bette Midler in Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Yes. That was what I figured. I figured that out just in time to get out of college.
What about some of those hard ciders?
Well, there you go. Little Mike's hard cider, little hard lemonade, hard apple cider.
I don't know. I'd have to take a look at the ingredients. Usually, like I have to.
Jeff's a hard drinking man. He doesn't do none of that sissy stuff. Sits there and drinks all that hard booze.
Yeah, I'd like a Zima.
Yeah, he's a hard drinking Jew.
Yeah, Manischewitz, baby, all the way.
Manischewitz.
Manischewitz, yeah. I don't know. What did I do this weekend? Well, I had holiday stuff. Trying to think of anything else really this weekend or part of it was holidays, so there really wasn't that much going on. Kind of the quiet before the storm this week, I got a lot going on this week. like I said, the next couple weeks are going to be busy, but this one was kind of the quiet before the storm. It was like, okay. I saw you spinning records, right?
Yeah, you were spinning records on Easter Sunday.
Yes, I was. The Sweet Soulful Sunday fell on Easter Sunday, and the part that I didn't broadcast was my little 5-minute sermon that I did before the actual broadcast. I ended up jumping into my old junior pastor mode when I used to go to church in the Indiana church. I'm just going to leave that there, and so I just did this little thing, and just to the delight of the throngs of the 4 people that were in the place when I started working. The place didn't fill out for like a couple of hours, so I was playing pretty much to the staff and the machines, but then it started to fill in, and then familiar faces started to come around, and then by the time I signed off, the place was full, so it was cool. It was a really good day, and got several gig proposals, which was really nice. And one of my friends that had been traveling the country and stuff came back into town, and he visited me, and it was just really something that for what it was worth, it was really, really a really good day. It was a nice warm day. It was a wonderful day on Easter. So yeah, and Julie had gone with her family, to do the holiday. We visited over here for Easter, before we went, off to our own different, family functions and stuff. And so it was good. It was good, spinning tunes and having a great time, and just being with everybody. And let's see, what else happened? Let me see. The last week was just filled with so much stuff. After I got with you guys last Monday for taping the last squares, and then following day, I got picked up early and went to Electric Jungle, and I put in a really long day trying to get things ready, for the 420 party. And then Wednesday, I was at the arcade doing the Out of the Satchel, which I do from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. at Logan Arcade. So I was at Logan Arcade actually twice this week. I did the Wednesday night, and then let me see, Thursday I was down at Cafe Mustache, and I did my set at Cafe Mustache. And then went, then by then, Friday, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it to Mather's Cafe, because I was so whooped because I was just ongoing from one day to the next. I kind of lost track, and then I got home Friday morning around 3 a.m., and I was so beat and so tired that have you ever worked so hard that you worked yourself awake?
What does that mean?
Well, that you worked so hard that you still, weren't able to wind down and rest and everything. You were still kind of wired.
Well, after work, I'm always kind of, takes a while to unwind so I can get to sleep.
Yeah, so that was the case in point for me, and that didn't happen. I got home at 3 in the a.m., and by 7 in the a.m., I finally was able to, pass out and just go to bed. And so I put in my phone calls to everybody, my people at Mathers, and of course to my friends who were going to go down there Friday and everything. Told them, hey, as much as I would like to be there, I don't like to be face down in my breakfast bowl. So, so I rested on Friday, and then Saturday we got out, saw my folks here for pre-Easter situation. My family was here and stuff, and then we went to the party up at Electric Jungle. It was a great party. King Tony killed it, from what I heard. Huh?
I hate having my calls drop.
Oh, you dropped out? I didn't even
No,
notice.
I didn't. I was trying to load something up for something we were talking about later, and
Oh, okay.
Would your Facebook, the page crashed?
no, I was good. Yeah, I said.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, it was like I went ahead and got there, and King Tony, he was doing a dub set, which was really cool. And from all people that were there, they said it was a wonderful, wonderful performance. I had gotten there after he was performing. I got there, and my extended family members, John and Allison, were busy spinning records, and then Art from the Windy City Soul Club was there, and he had his event, which Windy City Soul Club happens at the Empty Bottle every month. In fact, the next Windy City Soul Club get-together will be on May 25th. So if you like your Northern Soul, you want the real deal, the dance, the vibes, everything about it, yeah, Windy City Soul Club at Empty Bottle on Western Avenue. Yes, definitely take it in. And it was a busy night on Saturday because not only did Windy City Soul Club happen, Soul Summit happened over at East Room. So it was like the air was thick with soul and R&B music, along with what everybody was doing inside the confines of their homes, porches, backyards, and cars. 420, folks. And believe me, it's about as alive now as it's ever been. So, yeah, everybody had a great time. So, and then Sunday did the Sweet Soulful Sunday, and then now here I am. I spent most of the day. Me and Julie spent most of the day here with my mom and dad, and then we had stepped out to get some food over at the Hollywood, which is a great food place on Ashland and North Avenue. And yeah. And then as we were coming back to pick up Julie's phone, that's when we're leaving. We got the call back and had to come back and help my dad. And so here I am right now, talking to you from the front porch of my mom and dad's place, which is really very beautiful out here. We had a little bit of rain, but nothing too earth-shattering. I mean, it was actually kind of a nice little sprinkle.
Yeah, we had some storms roll through, but all of it went south, so.
Oh, okay.
I got hit. I got hit, but it seems like it's better now. So, Mike, how was your holiday?
How was your holiday? My holiday was good. I had a good Sunday. Although I caught just a little bit Saturday. A buddy of mine came over. We had the gaming. But I forgot to take my obligatory Facebook picture of what we're playing. I guess we get some Thunderstone Quest. It's like the old Thunderstone game we played, but the rules changed. It's a new setup. So it was interesting, and then you have like campaigns and stuff. But that was good. But then I caught a little bit of the Ten Commandments, so I caught a couple minutes of it Saturday night.
Blasphemers, idolaters, for this you shall drink bitter waters.
You do that so well.
I don't understand. If you can part the sea, how come you can't figure out how to get out of the desert for 40 years?
Here's the way of the Lord.
Obviously, the Lord didn't have GPS that day.
Were the angels on strike? I don't know.
Then Easter Sunday, we had a good day because how it is when Easter's late in the year, like this year, we combine it with a couple of birthdays, and so that was good. Got some cake. Now I like Jello cake. You guys familiar with Jello cake?
Jello cake? No. What is it? I mean, I know what Jello is, but I've never heard of Jello cake.
All right. Just take like a white cake or a yellow cake, and you bake it, and then you take a fork and poke a bunch of holes in it, and then you mix the Jello with some water, and then you pour it in to the cake. Kind of mix it in there. Not too heavily. You have to be just the right amount. And then you freeze it, or you refrigerate it, and then when it gets cold, then you put the Cool Whip on top. And it's
that sounds good.
It is. Well, of course, it sounds good to you, Ivan. You're baked. I know. No, it was good. It was good.
I was baked, okay?
You were? Oh, you were? I thought you are. Okay.
I am baked. No, I'm not baked now, but
Okay.
I was baked on 420.
Continuing your 420 weekend. Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I had a good Sunday. It was good Easter. The weather was nice, and we had a nice family get-together, so it was good. Woke up to a email with a Amazon gift card receipt in my email. Like, yay, thank you.
All right.
So yeah, had a nice day today. So
Well, that's
I
good.
don't feel any older today.
Well, that won't kick in until something starts to hurt. But right now, you're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm doing good. So, like, your birthday is what, Wednesday, Jeff?
No, it's not. It'll be the day before we record next.
Okay, it's not for another week. Okay.
Yeah, well, no, it'll be the 28th. So.
Okay, Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to have to make a big stink on the 29th then.
You don't have to. That'll be okay.
No, we're at the age where it's like, just another day. Like, it wasn't until about almost 9 o'clock. I was like, nobody at work, and then somebody was like, hey, Mike, happy birthday. I was like, okay,
So,
you're welcome.
Once you get 21, it's like, do I really care about these birthdays? It's like, you start getting to the point where it's like, when I turned 35, I made the announcement that now I could finally run for president of the United States.
Okay.
Because by law, that's what you gotta wait for. And then, really, in reality, as much as I'm not looking forward to it, man, I can't wait for, like, senior citizen movies and coffee.
Okay, senior citizen movies and coffee. All right, that's always
You know,
good.
You know what? Give me cheap shit because I'm old. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, don't the senior citizens get the break for everything, don't they?
Yeah, you know, tell us.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's funny
Ivan,
because
tell us what you're all good.
No, I know it's true. It's funny that here it is. I never would have thought because I figured senior citizen. I think 65 and older, but many places now are honoring the senior citizens discounts and things at 55.
No, 50. If you've got the
or at 50. You're right.
If your RP card at 50, you're it. I mean, I got friends of mine who turned 50 recently, and they're like, "Get me my card. I want my discount."
Yeah, and of course my insurance is through AARP, so I get the discounts and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
I'm not far behind.
Yeah, man. So. Huh?
We're all not far behind now.
That's right.
I gotta cut my teeth.
Well, you know what? We're all going to age gracefully, so I'm not worried about it too tough.
I think that's half the problem that we're going to face this weekend with Avengers Endgame. Is we're all older. Our bladders will not hold like
as of now, the Hollywood premiere is happening. So as of recording, so that means I got to stay off the internet all week until Friday night.
Oh yeah.
I think I figured out how I can stay away and it'd be good.
Well, you figure what is the world going to do? I mean, Game of Thrones is only 6 or 7 episodes away from ending. The Star Wars saga is ending after 42 years. And now the final situation with, happens with Endgame ends the whole, situation. What's anybody going to do for entertainment after that?
We'll find things.
Go back to Pokemon Go or something. I'm not sure.
I'm thinking porn.
What?
Well, don't go to the UK then.
Why?
Because they're banning porn sites in the UK.
What?
You heard about this? Yeah.
No.
All right, Jeff, all right, I'm going to talk about this. Jeff can search in the meanwhile, but do a quick search for UK porn ban. And it's not like Jeff's going to UK anytime soon, but yeah.
But the fact that the Brits are going to be they're going to be hot and horny a whole lot worse off now since there's no porn to look at.
You're right.
Yes, I am right. Most of the time. Sometimes I'm not right, but
98.9% of the time.
Holy cow! This is like, hold on. Oh God, why are they doing it?
No porn in the UK.
Ban starts July 15th. Wow, that's not a lot of time. You better download.
Get a gun separate thumb drive going on
So,
for your 5-finger fast action.
Okay, so apparently X-rated websites will be blocked on July 15th by all internet providers, with users having to verify. Oh, you only got to verify your
Just
age.
age verification, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's not like they're totally.
Yeah. It's just like DeviantArt. You just put in a bogus. Doesn't have to be your actual birth date. It's just a bogus number.
Yeah, that's my favorite. It's like these days. It's not like back in the day when you had to do certain things where it's like you had to try to prove it. Like you had to do math. Now you can Google math, or you can use your phone and figure out math in no time flat and make up the numbers and be fine.
Boy, there we go. Here's our tutorial as to get around United Kingdom porn sites. Okay, next here on Squares of the Round Table.
Well, it doesn't shock me. They drive on the wrong side of the road there, so who knows?
I can't go left. I just can't go left.
Yeah.
There we see it again. Can't go left.
They can't even figure out if they want to be in the EU or they want to be their own thing.
Yeah, they can't figure out the whole Brexit thing either, so.
Yeah.
And then, aren't there women very hairy, too?
Oh, I'm not going there.
I'm not going there.
On a lot of levels, I'm not going there.
Okay, I mean, their women are very hairy. They don't shave their armpits. They don't shave their legs. And the sound of when you talk to them, the register is just so much deeper. Almost, I don't know. It almost seems a tad bit unfeminine when they talk. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Well, okay. Now you say, how do I know this? Okay.
I don't know that if you want to know. Do you, Mike?
No, I'm not going there.
No.
Oh, no. I'm not gonna. No. I'm sorry. I'm not being my usual naughty self. No. Honestly, no. Because we do get a clientele that come from the UK, and a lot of them bring their wives and such, and they have a very open sensibility to the things that they talk about. They have no filter. So they talk and I listen, and they talk about all manner of things, and the women here in America they try to be so beautiful when they shave everything. We don't bother with such things. I'm like,
also don't bother with deodorant.
Huh?
Also don't bother with deodorant.
So it's just it's pretty wild, man. I don't know if I could find myself ever going with a British woman. Although if she's a good-looking British woman, kept British woman, I don't know. I might change my mind. But up till now, then yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could feel comfortable running my hand down a British woman's leg and feeling all that hair. I don't know.
Hey, Mike,
Yes, Jeff.
I saw a really amusing pun joke that I thought you would enjoy, which is, what's brown and rhymes with Snoop Dogg?
What's brown and rhymes with Snoop Dogg?
Yep.
I do not know. What is it, Jeff?
Dr. Dre.
I don't get it.
Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is brown. He's a black man. He's running for Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, it's better continue with the hairy leg stick. What do you want from me?
All right.
Well, I was talking about on her leg, not on any other part of her body. Okay, come on. Give me some credit.
This show over. I don't even know where this went.
Huh?
Did you see any movies this week, Jeff?
Did I see any movies? Yeah, I saw Instant Family, which was instantly horrible, but it wasn't really my call. When you get stuck with family members who are like, oh, we have to watch, I want to watch something that's wholesome and good, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't very thrilled with it. I was kind of bored.
What you said?
We're good. It's just, I was bored. I can't. Did I see anything else this week? Oh, I saw the Mustang. Again, dragged to something I didn't necessarily want to see. And it's about a program that apparently now is being shut down, where there are inmates who work with Wild Mustang and all that kind of stuff. Again, this would be the part where I have family members who like that artsy-fartsy stuff, and I'm just like, oh God, make it stop, make the thing go away.
Sounds like an episode of Holes.
I don't.
That was a series? I thought that was a movie.
That's no, okay. It's okay. What I should have said was, it sounds like the movie called Holes. You know how they had that inmate program, and all these kids, all they did was like make all these holes, and then one of them discovers an old artifact from the old West and shit. So yeah, so Mustangs, huh?
Yeah, well, like I said, those were the two movies I kind of had. It was interesting, with Endgame this weekend, I thought some of the TNTs and the TBSs and all those would have more of Marvel MCU stuff this weekend in general. Nope, not really. So
Wow.
I was kind of surprised by that, but yeah, let's see. I mean, I am watching a few things on TV, but other than that, I was more of a TV week than a movie week for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ivan, did you see anything? Are we going to talk about Masters of Disguise again?
No,
No, not at all. I really didn't get to watch much TV this last week because I was so busy ripping and running, but a lot of people were buzzing about Motown 60, which watching all the answers on IG and Facebook and such, seems like a lot of people were very disappointed over it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, the fact that the people you could have gotten for it, many of them were still around, so they could have done it. And the people that you replaced in order to make that situation happen, well, it was just like a bastard stepchild of, the great Motown, label, celebration. And when I read all those posts about it, and I just thought to myself, what? No Smokey Robinson, no Diana Ross, no,
yeah, but can they? Forgive me. Yeah,
it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just curious if those guys where those guys are at in terms of what they can and can't do in terms of travel or singing or any of that.
Well, Diana Ross currently is touring.
Oh.
Let me see. And Smokey Robinson makes the occasional appearance every now and again. Stevie Wonder makes an appearance every now and again. And not to mention, naturally, Michael can't be there, but, members of the Jackson 5 could have been there. Let me see. And then, some of the second generation Temptations could have done it, or even the third generation of Temptations could have done it. And several of the members of the Four Tops could have appeared in it, too. There were still enough Motown people still around to actually make it something where they could have gotten it together. And yeah, bringing all the new singers and stuff, doing some of the old classics, that's all good and fine, but, and then they would have had other ones, like what happened to Boys to Men? Okay, and whatever happened to the Mary Jane Girls? I could go on and on and on and on. Of all the performers that could have done Motown 60, and just, if you're going to do an anniversary situation like that, if you can't get the performers.
Who did they have?
Okay, I can't think off the real top of my head, but I know they had a lot of other artists. If you want to search it out, you'll see what I mean.
You're killing me, Ivan. You're killing me.
Right here. Hosted by Cedric the Entertainer and Grammy winner Smokey Robinson, a tribute to the iconic sound that changed America, will feature Boys to Men, Chloe X. Halle,
okay,
Ciara, Lamont Dozier, Fantasia, Brian and Eddie Holland, Thelma Houston, Tori Kelly, John Legend, Little Big Town, Neo, Pentatonix, Martha Reeves, Diana Ross, Valerie Simpson, Mickey Stevenson, Meghan Trainor, and Stevie Wonder.
Okay, see, so they got most They got some of the guys, but like I said, I think that, in place of some of the other artists, I think they should have kind of fattened it up with some of the other acts. I also heard, I also saw the postings of it, and as far as like some of the newer guys trying to handle some of the older tunes, was met with a very lukewarm response, really. So a lot of people were kind of upset.
But it sounds like you said, Smokey Robinson wasn't there, but according to this, he was. Well,
he was there and everything, but he could have done more than what he got to do.
No, he was a co-host.
Right. I mean, right. According to this, Diana Ross was there. It says featured performances by Wonder, Robinson, Diana Ross, and then
but I guess what I'm trying to express here is that they should have been able to do more than what they got to do, because it seemed like it was more new person heavy than it was some of the original artists, and then some of the newer artists trying to handle the material, was kind of left to, was left to, to be subjected to that. So, but like I said, I would actually, this would be an assignment for me to actually go ahead and sit down and, watch the actual presentation, and
judge for yourself.
And judge it for myself upon what everybody is talking about it.
According to the Detroit Free Press, this was filmed after the Grammys.
Yeah.
On February 12th. So it was filmed a while back, and then it sounds like there might have been some stuff because of all the Leaving Neverland stuff that got scrapped out of the show. So
because this was February when they had all that controversy.
Right. So there might have been more stuff like Jackson 5 stuff that did not make the show.
Right. And okay. Now, show me an artist that hasn't been without shameful behavior, and I'll show you a person in a straitjacket. I mean, not that I'm excusing shameful behavior. Don't get me wrong. Not at all. But again, the music business is what it is.
Yeah. I guess some of that fallout from the Finding Neverland documentary that came out, I guess that's a lot of that's blown over, and now like some of the facts that we found out that he lied about something, like he said that like he was like Michael Jackson kind of like grabbed him like at a train station in '93 or was it '89, and the thing wasn't built until the '90s. So yeah, some of that stuff has been disproven.
Right. I think there's still Here's the deal. I think that there's certainly some stuff about this that's legit. I think there's some stuff that, I mean, again, this is another example of where we're in an interesting time right now, guys, because it's like, if I was one of the people that it happened to, sure, I can blame people. I can get a reaction for it, given who and what. But at the same time, there is a part of me where I'm kind of like, okay, I don't know. Maybe I'd feel differently if he was alive. Maybe I'd have a different feeling about this right now if he was alive, but he's not, and I think that has a factor in it, but not to the people who he did things to. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I get it. I get why you might remove it and why you wouldn't put it in, and I don't know. Hey, look, trust me, I don't get it because we're in a weird spot where people are removing things from Michael Jackson, but everybody is lauding Tiger Woods like the second coming, but everybody's forgotten that apparently he cheated on his wife with a bunch of porn stars. So I don't know where we're at anymore.
I don't either. I mean, when you can go ahead and you had a landmark entertainer such as Bill Cosby, who since the 60s was doing comedy without having to say not one swear word, and he was funny. He broke color lines on television with Ice 5 with Robert Culp on television. His many specials geared towards children, and all of the wonderful things that he did do. I mean, the Huxtables, his standout and everything, and yet the guy was a predator. and
Wow.
and you know, and the walls came tumbling down.
Well, and that's what's becoming. It's that's the sad part is it's funny because people will point to him and go, look at all the things that he was a wholesome, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and you know it's funny because really in reality people would sit there and talk about Richard Pryor and how dare he and blah 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 and all that. Really in reality, Richard Pryor was at least being more honest and more genuine than technically Bill Cosby ever was. So, you know.
Okay. And I'll give that to you. I mean, even before Richard Pryor, you know, Lenny Bruce was swearing his ever-loving nuts off in front of audiences and getting arrested for, you know, lewd and obscenities.
But Ivan, that's a little different than we're talking about pedophilia and rape. That's a little different, you know.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Actually, that's a lot different.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm looking at some of the lists of names of people that you're talking about for this show, and it's like, okay, forgive me, I'm not a big Fantasia Moreno fan from American Idol. I thought she wasn't great. Meghan Trainor certainly has a following. I don't know what song she did, so it'd certainly be interesting to see that. John Legend is doing Motown. I buy it.
Okay. I mean, I would give it to Legend because Legend does have that virtuosity. He does have that talent, and I'm sure with what he does, I'm sure whatever he did, he pulled it off. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give it to Legend. Trainer, you know, it's all about that bass Trainer. I don't know.
I had a couple other hits then, but yeah, I get it. I don't know what he's saying, so that's part of my issue.
Well, that's why I'm gonna go back and actually find the entire show and then sit with it myself and then make it a point of my entrance to episode 49. So yeah, and I can give a better view of this. I'm just going on the scat clips I got to see, the postings that I got to read, and things like this. So
I mean, here's the thing I find interesting, which is the Detroit, again, I'm looking at this article from the Detroit Free Press, which I figured that makes the most sense since that's where Motown's from. They were talking about that Sierra was in this, and it's funny, they called them young guests, and they said Sierra. Well, Sierra's been around for a long time. She isn't all that young anymore. She's been around for probably a decade. And apparently she did Rick James' Super Freak, which makes me kind of interested to see what they actually did with it. And then, again, here's an example of two people I don't know. Somebody, Chloe, and there's an X and Haley, I guess they're sisters or something. And they did Mr. Postman. But I don't know them, and for all I know, I mean, here's the thing. I guess here's the thing, Ivan, and this is where I'll at least put it, which is, if somebody likes that group, and they tuned in, and then they stuck around to hear some of the other stuff from Motown, isn't that a win? Isn't that what you kind of want?
Okay, yeah, I guess maybe because, it's kind of hard to replicate. I know it's hard to replicate the greatness of the people that made the original records. Okay, I get it.
You can't bring them back from the dead.
No, you're right, Jeannie. You're right, Jeannie. And but the thing about it is that I guess I don't know. And I'm not saying that the young people are not capable of doing justice to Motown music. Some people can. Some people can't.
Here's the question. Do you want them to sound like Motown artists, or do you want them to sound like who they are doing Motown?
Yeah, put a modern play on it.
I don't mind a modern spin on the Motown sound if it incorporates their style, and if they do it stylistically, and if it works, and if it sounds, good, if not better than what the original product was. No, I have no beef against that.
I'll give you a great example, okay? 9 Inch Nails did Hurt. I will tell you right now, that is not the best version of 9 Inch Nails. That is not the best version of that song, and you know what it is. It's the Johnny Cash version.
Well, yeah.
Johnny Cash version, it blows it out of the water. But, again, see, to me at this point, I don't know that I want them doing, again, I give them props because I think at the end of the day, Ivan, they're trying to get more people who are younger to find out about Motown.
Oh no, I get and I get that, but also coming from my disc jockey's point of view, when I play the original records, when I'm out there playing the real Motown records, and they listen to the Four Tops, and they listen to Junior Walker, and they listen to the Temptations and Smokey and the Marvelettes, the Velvelettes, Carolyn Crawford. I could go on and on and on. And listen to the records, and then I get the young people who are half my age, and they come up to like, wow, so that's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, well, they're trying to do their best. This is that song, and then they come up, yeah, well, dot that I made that, or dot that I made that, and I'm like, yeah, well, this is the original article, and then they're just like,
well.
And I'm not making that judgment call. I mean,
it's been going on for a long ass time. I mean, like a lot of people found out about Blue Suede Shoes by Elvis, not Carl.
Right, exactly.
I mean, think about the Little Richard hits that were originally sung by white artists.
Well, but see, look at, Pat Boone, who went ahead and covered all of Little Richard's and Fats Domino's records, the whole, as they called it, whitewashing, cover versions of the things happening in the 50s, which, was widespread because of the fact that radio stations didn't want to confront their sponsors and everything by saying, oh, well, we're playing black music on a white station. But that's a whole different kettle of fish. But the point of the matter is, yeah, I get it. When you get other people covering, hit songs and such, and I just hope that when I do view this, for myself and watch it, at length, and I'll make my notations on it. And like I said, again, I'm going on the say of a whole lot of posters and a whole lot of, like I said, scant shots of what I got to see and hear.
And I'd say just go ahead and watch it and view for yourself, and until then we'll get a
like
informed opinion.
Yeah, I'll get a well-informed opinion, and then, like I said, I'll bring it back on 49. So I think I'll clip it there. So,
yeah, because I'll tell you right now, I'll be shocked if we get to anything. An episode, 40, is it? Yeah, we are on 48. I'll be shocked if we get to anything in 49 that isn't related to Avengers that day. We'll see.
I got a little bit of news, although, we finally got the season 2 teaser, season 2 teaser for Krypton.
Teaser.
Teaser. And I've watched some more of Discovery. I guess last week was the season finale of Star Trek Discovery season 2. And it's getting good, actually. Watch a few more episodes. I still not totally caught up on season 2, but Discovery's pretty good.
That's good.
It's getting better. It's more Star Trek-y than season 1 was, that's for sure.
Do they trek across the universe?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We come in peace, shoot to kill.
Yeah.
Oh, no Shatner, though. The guy who does Spock is all right. We'll see. Rebecca Romaine as number 1. Who was from the old Christopher Pike pilot, The Cage, because we don't have Kirk and McCoy yet, but we do with Spock when he served with Christopher Pike on the Enterprise, which is like going on, like if you remember, like the 64 pilot was called The Cage, and that one didn't fly, so they did another pilot, and then that's where Shatner was captain. That's what's going on here, is that this takes place before Captain Kirk takes command of the Enterprise.
Got it.
But it's good, though. Discovery's good. And this week is the season 2 finale of the Orville. And last week's Orville was pretty good, too. So, yeah, Orville is, man, it's like, it has totally good next-gen vibes out of it. So, and by the way, here's another thing. I don't know if we talked about this in previous shows, but the DS9 documentary is finally coming out. And holy crap, it'll be available for streaming for 99 hours the weekend of Endgame. And I won't be able to watch it, there's a Fathom event screening in May, and I was like, I don't want to have to pay to see it again. I'm part of the Kickstarter. Like, I don't want to have to pay to see it again. Just give me my download code so I can put it on a thumb drive and take it to my friend's house and watch it. So,
right.
So that's, yeah. So anyway.
Let me know how that is. I'd be curious. Of the Star Trek, that's really kind of my favorite.
Yep, a lot of people favorite. It's a close second for me, sir. Favorite Trek. So.
I will. So the final episode of Gotham is this week, and
wow, so much nerd stuff this week.
The way the previews looked, I will tell you that I think you should probably watch that episode and not having to need to watch anything else. I don't think you're going to need to watch anything else because they're setting it 10 years into the future.
Oh, what? All right.
Well, with the way that they set things up and the way they ended things, it makes total sense because at some point Bruce Wayne needs to leave Gotham.
Yeah.
So,
Ivan, you moved out into traffic or what?
No.
I'm getting all that background noise.
No, I'm on the street. I mean, I'm in the front
you're
here.
in traffic, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a car passing by.
Get out of the street, Ivan. You're broadcasting.
Ah!
You're podcasting, Ivan. Please don't go in the street.
Hey, man. Are you podcasting right now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We're on Anchor. Podcasting in the street.
Yeah. Hey, if you're going to podcast in the street, yeah, you better find a good humor man. Get me. I don't know. What do I want? Maybe a strawberry eclair. What do you want, Mike?
Ice cream sandwich.
Ice cream sandwich. Which one?
The rectangular one, not the round one.
Not the chipwich.
The Dean's
thing?
ones I like the Dean's ones are good.
Okay.
The Dean's ones are great.
And I want
Is that a Heath bar? I like Heath bars.
I
like a Heath bar.
I want the WWE ice cream bars too. I want those. I
like the chocolate eclairs, the ones with the chocolate crunchies on the outside and a piece of chocolate in the middle.
Is that like the Choco Taco?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard somebody say that there's a strawberry Choco Taco now.
It's usually
there is a strawberry
that's the thing.
taco.
Like we have our first 70-degree weekend, and all of a sudden the ice cream trucks are out.
Yeah.
It's not like we had to wait until summer vacation. That's when we're out of school. That's when the ice cream trucks would be around. Like,
you know what
but not anymore. Now it's all like 70 degrees, boom, here come the ice cream trucks.
You know what we need? We need an ice cream truck with the ice cream truck music, except it's a bar.
What?
Except it's a bar. And yeah, I'll take a shot of Jack. Let's go.
Is that legal?
No,
make it legal.
Yeah, well, the trucks up here in Chicago are really cool because, I mean, they still have the soft serve ice cream in the trucks.
Really?
Yeah, they still have the soft serve. You could get the strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla, plus you could get the split, chocolate and vanilla in the same cone, or you could get yourself an actual blackout or, like a milkshake. And it's so good. I mean, I look forward to those trucks. They still do that up here in Chicago with the soft serve ice cream. In addition to like all the old favorites, and the prices are right. So yeah, it definitely makes for a wonderful, cool, summer evening. When the ice cream truck goes down. Now, did you guys have ice cream trucks out by you that did that?
Yeah.
No.
No, soft serve and hard serve, the soft serve stuff? No,
it was all just like out of a freezer wrapped in cellophane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want the soft stuff from Dairy Queen.
Yeah, there we go. Love Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to see your reaction to something. This was something that passed by, and I didn't catch it, all of it. But I'm kind of reading the article now, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Apparently, Norman Lear and Jimmy Kimmel are going to produce a 90-minute live special in which they're going to do a live 90-minute, it's like a tribute, where they're going to recast for All in the Family and the Jeffersons. And it's going to air in late May, the 22nd.
I want to see that. I love Norman Lear.
Right, so here's the cast. Archie Bunker is going to get played by Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
And Jamie Foxx is going to play George Jefferson.
Okay.
In terms of the other roles, what is with everybody going for the hot wife? Marissa Tomei is going to play Edith.
Nice.
Okay.
Wanda Sykes is going to play Louise Jefferson. Ellie Kemper will play Gloria, who's Edith's daughter, and it looks like Will Ferrell is going to play Tom Willis, which is George and Louise's friend. And apparently somebody named Justina Machado, who has been on the recent One Day at a Time reboot, is going to play the housekeeper.
Okay. Yeah.
So, it like I said, apparently this is going to be live. It's 90 minutes. I don't know what they're going to split this off at.
Well, if Norman Lear has his hand in it, and it's Jimmy Kimmel, and I like Jimmy Kimmel, so I mean, a lot of good can come from this.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I've wondered when we were going to see. I wondered when we were going to see stuff like this, like possibilities of reinventing. We've already seen the reinvention of series from stuff in the 90s.
Right.
It's funny. It's kind of interesting, given everything that's going on. It would be certainly interesting to see what Archie Bunker looks like in the 2000s in an era of Me Too.
Right.
I think that's fascinating. I could seriously see Jamie Foxx. Honestly, I will say this. I think I would have liked Kevin Hart better than Jamie Foxx.
Okay, all right. I can see your point on that. Yeah.
I think he's a bit better than Jamie Foxx for that.
I like Jamie Foxx though.
I
do like Jamie Foxx.
Absolutely.
Fine.
I mean, he did a great job in Ray.
Yeah. I just feel like Kevin Hart would be a little bit more crazy with the what do you think? What are you doing?
Yeah, Kevin Hart's becoming one of those actors who is like him in every movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, kind of like Will Smith. Is Will Smith in every movie?
Well, we've had that discussion before about actors who just work themselves. We talked about last week when Goldblum was the Grand Master in Thor Ragnarok. So
yeah.
It's just him.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Kevin
Hart's a little bit of that.
There's only one exception to that, which is Stanley gets to be Stan. That's all there is to it. What else? Oh, I think this is the last week of Luke Perry being in Riverdale.
Oh, this is the last episode that it aired?
It's the last episode that they filmed with him.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a rumor out there that Tom Welling was in, New Zealand at some convention and said that he's been fired. Out in New Zealand. He was at some expo, and he said he'll be on Arrow next season, and there's speculation as to who or what he'll be playing. Tom Welling was the person who played Superman or Clark Kent in Smallville, and he also made an interesting statement, supposedly, that they initially offered him the chance to come back and play Superman when they were looking for a Superman on Supergirl. So, but it's interesting because they're doing that Crisis on Infinite Earths thing. So we'll see if that we'll see where that goes. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work out. I guess the next question is, so Mike, the final two movies in your quest.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the final two, man. I watched Infinity War after everybody went home from the Easter party. I cleaned up the house and dumped all the garbage, got ready for Monday, and I'm like, okay. I popped in my last DVD and I watched Infinity War last night. But before that, on Good Friday, it was Ant Day. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. Man, it's still just as good. I know I was talking to a friend of mine because we had a discussion last week where you liked Doctor Strange more and I liked Thor Ragnarok more. And
right.
He made the comparison. He liked Ant-Man and the Wasp more than the first Ant-Man. And this one was just as good. I think this one was just as good as the first Ant-Man. And, of course, this is the first time we get Michelle Pfeiffer as Jane Van Dyne. Toot, toot. Here comes the ant train. It's on its way.
That's not the Endgame truck, I'll tell you that.
Choo-choo's Ant-Man and the Wasp for your final... that's the train going down the quantum tunnel.
We're going down this episode.
Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. So you find out what Scott Lang's been up to since Civil War. He's been under house arrest for 2 years, and then he's got like a whole bunch of probation, but he's only got 3 days left, and then he sees the vision of Janet, where he is Janet, where he sees himself as her playing hide and seek with a young Hope. And so then we find out that they had this lab, and they have the building, and the building they can shrink and enlarge. But then the thing is like they didn't. There was like Ghost was kind of the main villain, but they also had these sleazy black market dealers. Was kind of like the bad guy too. It was like I don't know. They just. I understand why they needed it, because they needed one component to finish the quantum tunnel. So she had to. Of course, they betrayed her, so she beat him up, and here comes Ghost, like Baba Yaga. That's the awesome thing about those two, the two friends of Luis, like Baba Yaga. And it was good to see. Like I said, it would have been cool to see an updated suit with Goliath. Because you look at those old pictures of, they even called him Black Goliath back then. It's like, man, those were the days, though. It would have been cool to see with an updated suit, though, like a de-aged Lawrence Fishburne. Now the thing is that the contrition here was like the suit malfunction hijinks, where he has to sneak into the school to get the trophy because his old suit has a part they can use to track the lab that Ghost stole, so they had to, and his suit's malfunctioning, so he's like half the size, and he's got a kid's hoodie on, and he runs down the hall, and this gets kind of, I don't know, the suit malfunction hijinks is a little bit too much for me. And then it sounds out that Ghost and Dr. Foster, he's helping her, and it sees a little bit more of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s dark side. Where back in the 80s and 90s, before Cap and all that, I mean, they did some dark shit. So they used Ghost as a weapon. Now then it's more this contrition is that Ghost will, if you connect to the quantum realm, it'll fix you, but it may kill Janet. I guess she's intertwined with the quantum realm, and again we get back to the sleazy arms dealer and the whole thing with Luis, and it's not truth serum. It is truth serum. But of course we get like Luis, the story about how he met Scott, and the guy says, you put a dime in, you got to let the whole song play. It's like, oh man, I talked to him in his prison. He's like, oh man, my wife divorced me, and now I'm going to be stuck in prison. I'm going to get my friend. I ran into Luis, by the way. Some of that. I'm getting it. I got like an Inner Space vibe from the craft that Dr. Pym built to navigate the quantum realm to try and find Janet. Remember see Quantum the Inner Space, man, with Martin Short and who was the actor's name who was in Inner Space? He was Dennis Quaid. That's right, Dennis Quaid. Yeah. Then the cool car chase, arguably one of the better car chases in the MCU. Seeing as we didn't get like a final battle, like we have like the one villain and we have the final battle, we didn't have that. We just had like pretty much just a car chase. So the car chase ensues, and we see the giant Pez that was in the trailer.
Right.
And then there was a Stan Lee cameo. Where his car, she shoots the blaster with the discs that shrinks or enlarges, and they shrunk his car. So, let's see, the ferry boat, the giant man. That's where that was cool. That's like the biggest. That was bigger than the airport Ant-Man, I think. So then when he finds Janet, and then he gets back, and she can fix him because she's kind of tied in to the quantum realm, and she gets these powers. So that's cool. And then the Partridge Family song was in there, and that was not the song I'd pick first, but it had a good vibe to it. I think it was just the happy-go-lucky kind of low stakes kind of environment to set. I think it was a good tone for the film as in general. Oh, and of course when one more thing with Michael Pena, when they crashed the truck that we were using for their co-op stuff, and they say, I need to follow you guys, and it's like, open the Hot Wheels rally case, and every kid's dream is to pick up a Hot Wheels car and imagine yourself driving it, and he picks up the cool orange one with the flames on it, and he says, I love you, Dr. Pam.
Yeah.
So, the two post-credit scenes, the first one, of course, takes place at the same time as the end of Infinity War, where he's extracting quantum particles to help Ghost. That way, she didn't always have to get to Janet. And, of course, he's stuck in the quantum realm, and everybody out, Hope and Jane and Hank, they all get dusted, and he's stuck in the quantum realm. And the other, which was total bullshit, probably my least favorite post-credit scene ever, is just the aftermath, the test pattern on a TV, nobody around, except the giant ant playing the drums on the drum kit. And that was when one scene was like when they were seeing Dr. Forster, and Scott was all worried about the feds going to his house, and they don't worry. And he looks at one of the cams, the ant cams, because they've been watching him obviously, and he sees the giant ant playing the drums, and Dr. Pym's like, "What are you, 15?" So yeah, so I loved Dr. Pym. Great choice, Michael Douglas for Dr. Pym. Loved it. And Hope. And I like the Evangeline Lilly and Paul Rudd, the great chemistry as the two of them. And she was always ribbing into him because he went off with the Avengers to fight in an airport. Just about as good as the first Ant-Man, I think.
All right.
I don't know that it was as good as the first Ant-Man.
You like the first one better?
I like the first one better, but I did enjoy Ant-Man Wasp. I certainly am glad to see them add the Wasp to the MCU roster of characters. In some ways, she was one of the originals all the way in the comics,
yeah.
So it's nice to see her here. But, to me, the real stars of those movies are the cast of characters that are Scott's friends, the guys like Lewis and T.I. who plays the one character, and those guys are great. I mean, they make the whole movie.
Yeah. I
mean, they really do. I mean, the thing about picking desks and donuts and who gets
right.
food and all that kind of stuff, that's the stuff that really works in this movie. I am curious what they're going to do for an Ant-Man 3, and the reason I'm curious about it is here's another character where I kind of sit there and I'm like, okay, here's an example of where there's another character with a not very big rogues gallery, okay? And you're already stretching now. What are you doing for a third movie? That's where I begin to kind of sit there and scratch my head. It's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to a third movie. I just don't know what they're going to do with that, because it's like, okay, what villain works? Or what, in fairness, if they bring in some co-stars from other movies and maybe they make something out of it and they bring in a bigger villain, okay, that'd be interesting. But I don't know. I don't know what they're planning on doing.
Yeah, because Ant-Man and the Wasp had Yellow Jacket. That's the big baddie of that one. But this one had Ghost, and Ghost was just kind of just there a couple times, but
right.
In some ways, she was kind of an equal match because she couldn't completely control her powers.
Uh-huh.
So there was kind of equal footing for the two of them.
Right. Well, again, that's what, like I said, it's the part where it's like, here's an example of where you're going to have to. I mean, the only good news is Marvel just basically got back practically almost every character it owns with the exception of anything from the Hulk's library and from Spider-Man's library.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens next in that regard if we're going to get an Ant-Man 3. I think we will. I think Paul Rudd's got one more in him.
Yeah, I think we'll get one more.
There's another one, called Paul Rudd, like the first Ant-Man, Paul Rudd co-wrote the story. So that's cool.
Right. I think we'll get a third one. I'm kind of curious as to, where you go or what you do next with it, because, like I said, you're either going to have to find somebody else's villain or make something up or figure out a way, but we'll see.
Yeah, they got the vibe right for just the low stakes, kind of just keeping it in the city of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's nice to not see New York for once for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
That happens in Marvel movies too much, where it's, because the Marvel universe is mostly set in New York. I mean, it doesn't happen as hard. It's not as bad as what I'm talking about in the MCU movies, but sometimes it kind of starts to get a little New York.
Well, all three of the Iron Man movies were in California.
Yeah, I know. I was funny. That's like one of the few, but it's like, and it's funny because they've done a lot to try to stay away from New York in some aspects of their movie, but at the end of the day, a lot of these heroes are based out of New York, so. And I'm still crossing my fingers for a Lewis explanation of the entire MCU. Still crossing my fingers. Don't know if we'll get it, but.
He's possible.
I don't think we'll get it, though.
We'll see.
It'd be cool. It would be cool if it was at the beginning. It would be cool if it was at the beginning of Endgame. That would be cool. Before Endgame even starts. In case you missed it, here's what you missed. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. I guess this goes to the main event, right?
Well, I did not take any notes. I just sat in my head. I didn't take any notes for watching Infinity War. I just laid back and watched it. And one thing, I've watched it several times now, and one thing I missed it until now. There's a brief bit of banter between Groot and Rocket when they're on the way to the crazy named place where the hammer was built. Groot has to pee. And it's like, I am Groot, tinkle in a cup. Well, I won't watch. Everyone's seen a twig. But it's like, I never caught that. There's just background to me. So. But that's when she finds out, Thor can speak Groot, and that's when I paid attention. But the one line I didn't never catch that before. But man, it was just such a great cohesive cinematic event that was just, like I said, it's built on all these other films, and without it just kind of seems like you're not as emotionally invested unless you watched all these films. But yeah, it was just awesome. Instead of just reviewing the film as what I've usually been doing, I think we could just make our We Are events. Ivan, what did you think of Infinity War last year?
What I think of Infinity War last year?
You watched it in the theater last year.
I sure did.
Yeah. What were your favorite parts of it?
Oh well, that's a loaded question because it had such a fluidity about it, and everything about it just it was the gift that just kept on giving. I mean, you just from the fight scenes to the banter, it's hard. It's hard for me to go ahead and pin any one thing down, and I just. It just baits my anticipation more to catching Endgame. It's kind of a shame I won't be able to see it when you guys get to see it, but
when do you think you're going to be able to make it to the theater?
Well, probably Sunday might be the soonest I probably get there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to at least try to get it in before 49. So because that way I want to be able to chime in on that whole experience. I mean, because it's a monumental. I don't know. Can we say finale to a franchise that has covered, so many years and so many stories.
Well, it's not a finale. I mean, we obviously though the Russo brothers said that, or is it Feige? That said that after Spider-Man: Far From Home, that'll end Phase 3. So there's just a chapter ending. So going on to more stories, just a slightly different cast of characters.
Well, it's just that he came out recently and made that comment about, well, yeah, no, really, Spider-Man ends Phase 3. He doesn't start Phase 4, which in some ways, now that you look at it, makes a lot of sense. Because really, in reality, we know nothing about any of the movies that are coming next other than Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think they made a mistake announcing Far From Home before Endgame. But how could they have kept it under wraps, though?
Right. There was too many other issues with it, which is when you've got Sony involved, they had certain things in their contract about they want a certain amount of movies in a certain amount of time, and so this is kind of how it worked out. And there wasn't really much that could be done. And it's funny, because there's a lot of people who are sitting there and talking about, oh, this is ruining the movie and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't think it's ruining the movie at all. If anything, my reaction will probably be, depending on what happens on Endgame, I will be very ready and curious to see what the new Marvel universe looks like from Spider-Man. And I think, it's 4th of July weekend, too. So
right.
I'm sure they'll do just fine. I'm sure all the same people who are complaining and bitching about it will be the first ones in line. So,
that's right.
I mean, so a lot of people are just trying to say that there was the cart before the horse, which I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, you figured you might as well put the next chapter out there for people to know about it before, because so many eyes are on Endgame. Why would you not take advantage of all the press and everything to say, well, okay, you got this, now this is what's coming.
Well, you got a movie, you got to promote it.
Right, you got a movie, you have to promote it a certain amount. I mean, here's the interesting part to me, which is I will be curious because once Endgame is done, will we see new and different looking Spider-Man trailers because now the movies come out and they can do a few more things that they couldn't do before.
Right.
So we'll see.
Also, we got another article saying that it's going to be several years before we get to see any Fox property superheroes mixed in the MCU.
Well, I'm curious to see how that's going to work because I think there's ways that can be massaged. It really kind of depends if there's ways to fit certain things in stories. Yeah. Otherwise, you're right. I mean, like for example, we just talked about, okay, do they really have a villain for Ant-Man 3? No. Maybe they could figure out a way to seed Ant-Man 3 with a villain or a hero from what they've just got. I don't know what it would be, okay? Just like, for example, there's ways around this where, like, for example, okay, do you really know what your third Spider-Man movie's going to look like? Maybe at that point, oh, hey, guess what? Maybe the Fantastic Four shows up. Which makes sense. They've shown that pairing is a classic pairing of Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. Yeah. It's always been a classic pairing. Maybe you could get away with something like that, or you get the idea. I mean, there's ways around this. It's just a matter of if you're talking about a straight up movie, yeah, maybe there's an issue. I don't know. In terms of Infinity Gauntlet, there's just so much that they pack in there, and there's so much. I mean, from things like Star-Lord pretty much being jealous of Thor the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, there are certain characters that are in that movie that steal the show with lines. Like,
so many great one-liners in this film.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the brief interactions.
Yeah, like Batista with Drax. I mean, everything he does is like kind of funny. Yeah, kind of funny. I mean, just like he is a man. He's talking about you were kind of like a boy. He's kind of like a man.
Right. He is not a dude. You're a dude. This is
Yeah.
a man.
Right, so like,
Muscular man.
right. It's like, you know,
How, like, Doctor Strange and Tony Stark instantly hate each other. Love that.
yeah, that was kind of interestingly. In fairness, it makes sense. You've got somebody who deals with tech on a regular basis versus somebody who's who's magic. The description of what Tony wants Peter to do when he's like, "Hey, Mr. Stark, what's going on?" is absolutely classic.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He is a wizard, and the aliens are trying to take the wizard, so stop them from taking the wizard.
Right. He's from space. He's trying to steal a necklace from a wizard.
Yeah.
Got it. Here's a little game I want to play with all three of us here. Speculation for Endgame. Let's say like 3 things that we predict is going to happen in Endgame, and see which of us is the most correct. We'll start with you, Ivan. What are the 3 things you think is going to happen to these heroes in Endgame? Do you think someone's going to die? You think someone's going to never come back? Who do you think is either going to what's going to happen to some of these people?
From the group that's in Endgame, I feel that several of them are going to make an exit, but yet for the ones that are making the exit, there might be one that might be making an entrance. Because I'm thinking, since they got the Spider-Man happening, far from home, who knows, they might be trying to predict what's going to happen in that next universe, maybe using this movie as kind of a springboard towards that.
Okay.
What, I'm sorry, what was that again, Ivan?
I said that, you didn't hear me?
No, I just couldn't process what you were saying. You were saying things, but I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Okay, so Endgame...
Hey, please explain it to me again, please.
Okay, I will do it one more time. 3, 2, 1. So as far as Endgame is concerned, this is supposed to be the big end-all be-all, but I feel it's not going to be the end-all be-all. I know that...
No, it's not. It's going to continue. It's going to continue. This MCU is going to continue.
But I think several of the characters are going to make an exit.
All right, which ones do you think?
Well,
make a prediction. What do you think you're going to see?
Well, I'm trying to think maybe Captain America, and I'm thinking Spider-Man.
Ivan, Spider-Man has a movie in July.
Okay, so then we got. Okay, so I'm thinking. Okay, I'm doing the best I can here, folks. Okay, so I'm thinking Thor, and I'm thinking Iron Man are going to make an exit.
You said Captain America. You think those 3? Cap, Thor,
right,
and Tony Stark.
Right.
You think they're going to die?
Yes.
All 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jeff, what about you?
I think I'm going to go a different direction with this.
Okay, you going to play devil's advocate on this? What do you think?
I don't necessarily know that this is the end for any or all of these characters. I'm beginning to think, just on certain hints of things that I've read over the years, and maybe I'm dead wrong. I think that there's a distinct possibility that these characters may disappear, but they're not necessarily gone. If you understand what I mean. And I could be very, very wrong about this. I don't know. I just wonder how much, a lot of these guys are talking about that this is the end of their time and blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. In a heartbeat that if the script is right and the money's right, they'd come back and do it again.
So you think nobody's going to die?
I think there might be somebody who dies. I just don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I'm leaning towards nobody dies.
Really?
I'm leaning towards nobody because like for example, you remember that the comic book when they had what was it? When they had they had Onslaught back in the day from the comic books.
Yeah.
Where in the end I can't remember what heroes it was, but they left the Marvel universe and created their own universe, and it was like a Heroes Reborn universe, and I can't remember who was writing. I think it was Liefeld, and some of those guys were trying to do something different with it, and they kind of left the Marvel universe, and those heroes were like gone.
So you thinking that Endgame is not exactly an end, but a reinvention for those particular characters.
Well, not only that, I just wonder if it's not setting up for the next generation. I mean, in the comics, there's the next generation of some of those characters. I just wonder if maybe, just maybe, that's where we're going next. In terms of things that I'm expecting, obviously, I'm curious to see how Thanos loses. And when I say that, I'm curious if that means that Thanos dies. I don't know if he does or he doesn't. It's certainly not what happens in Marvel Comics. He's defeated, but he never really dies. There's a part of me where I'm like, I don't know. Here, ready? I think we'll see Howard the Duck.
Okay.
I think we'll see Howard the Duck. I think that I'll go out on a limb. I think there'll be somebody dead. I think that somebody who's going to die might be from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You think maybe Rocky or maybe Star-Lord?
You mean Rocket?
Rocket.
No,
Rocket.
I honestly think Gamora's not coming back.
No, I think Gamora's coming back.
You do? Yeah. I don't think she is. Either that or Nebula. I think Gamora or Nebula.
Yeah, I thought Nebula was going to die in Infinity War.
That's what I thought too.
And I'll give you one more. I think the interesting thing is, I'm curious as to if we're really ever going to see Bruce Banner again.
No,
I don't think we are. And when I say that,
no, I don't think so.
When I say that, I will say this: there's been some stuff about some of the toys that have been released, and I think we're about to see a new version and incarnation of the Hulk. And if that's true, I don't know that you need Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, we had a great deal of Ragnarok was just CG Hulk. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, and, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm just saying that I have a feeling that there's going to be, and again, part of the problem becomes with some of this is toys have to come out.
Yeah.
Toys have to come out. Posters have to come out. Promotional pieces and things that make you money from the movie have to come out.
Yeah.
And so as a result, certain things start to get leaked. Like, for example, the white suits that they're wearing were leaked months ago. I will tell you that I clicked on something because I thought we were getting kind of small spoilers, and I saw a big one, and I'm hoping that that's not true.
Yeah, I know like the Russo brothers have said that, like, not everything you see in the trailers is happening in this film.
Right, no, but I'm talking about
there's some misdirection. Right,
but I literally clicked on something where it literally basically gave a key plot point, and I'm like,
yeah.
You gotta hope really, it's not a key plot point, right?
I'm kind of like sitting there going, man, when you say, when you're this far out and you say spoilers, I'm assuming you don't have anything huge. Whereas on this particular occasion, it was something where it was like, oh, That was not what I was expecting.
I was listening to a podcast last week, and I heard the guy say, "Oh, you saw that one toiler," which is what we in the community call spoilers through toys. And you talked. Did you see the one thing? And I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I heard about that thing." So.
Because now it just kind of took the air out of that situation.
Well, we'll see. But anyway.
Well, and that's the thing too. Is like I said, I am aware of one toiler, and I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. And so Ivan says Cap, Thor, and Iron Man all dead. Jeff says Howard the Duck, one Guardian of the Galaxy will die. And no more Bruce Banner. My prediction for Endgame is that Stark retires, Captain America will die, and Valkyrie will take over for Thor.
As long as we're talking about, you're talking about deaths, I'm going to go a different direction from you. I have this sinking feeling that at the end of the movie, Tony and what's her name? Pepper.
Black Widow?
No. Tony and Pepper Potts.
Pepper.
Are going to adopt a young girl by the name of Riri.
Okay.
A young teenage girl by the name of Riri. And the reason I think that is because in the comics, Riri Williams at one point becomes Iron Man.
Yeah.
And it would certainly make a lot of sense that if you wanted to do future movies, the easiest way would be that if Tony disappears or something like that, along those lines, okay, here's Riri Williams, his adopted daughter. That's an easy fix, and that's an easy direction. So I think we'll see. I think there's a possibility we'll see Riri Williams, so that you can make new Iron Man movies.
Okay.
It's interesting. I don't know about. I mean, the interesting part about Cap is they've got all these shows that they're doing now for Disney Plus. So, I thought one of those two, either Falcon or Bucky, might become Captain America, but I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know that that's going to happen now.
Yeah. Well, there's that meme now with. Ouch, Ivan. Is that you?
No.
Okay. There's that meme now where Brie Larson and Chris Evans are looking at each other, and she says, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." So.
Yeah, well, I will tell you that. Oh, that's the other thing. I will say this. This is the one thing I'm really kind of like, and I know there's a lot of people that are going to sit there and say you're being a hater, but I will admit that I kind of agree with people when they sit there and say this better not turn into the Captain Marvel show where that's the only reason why they win.
No, I don't think it's going to be that.
No.
I would not want a movie like that.
No.
We've seen her kick ass in one movie. We need to see her in two. Like, I want to see her do some cool stuff, but I don't want to be the reason why they win.
Yeah.
Also, too, here's a thought that kind of crossed my mind while I was sitting here. The possible exit of some male characters, do you think that there may be more female characters making an appearance in Endgame?
Maybe eventually over time, but we know we have the cast list, so.
Okay.
I am rooting for one cameo at the end, but I don't think that it's going to happen.
Deadpool?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Now,
that they confirmed,
cool, but that's a long shot.
This is not a spoiler, though, but the runtime of the movie is 2 hours, 49 minutes, which means there's going to be a long-ass end credits scene.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 hours and 1 minute. I don't know how many credits take like 5 minutes to do, so we'll get like a 4 or 5 minute end credits, post-credit scene.
Or several post-credit scenes.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, I think they said there's two.
Okay. All right.
And actually, that you might be able to look that up, Mike. I can't do it right now,
Okay.
but I was under the impression there's 2.
Well, the less I know, the better. But these are things I'm just seeing, like headlines. I'm not reading articles anymore, not watching any more trailers. Like, this one has 2.8 extra seconds. Like, don't give me that crap now. I'm done. So
yeah, I will admit,
they
every time they do, it's in 4 days, and it seems like they add one more little thing to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like,
well, of course, they're going to sit there and try to whet your appetite because they want you to see this movie.
Well, obviously they are, but I don't need any more, 2 or 3 extra seconds.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't need no egging on for that. Yeah,
you don't need to wet. You don't need to wet anything. Give me the damn movie. Let's go.
Most people have already bought their tickets and they're waiting all weekend.
Yeah, stop.
They're waiting with bated breath.
That's right.
Yeah, stop teasing. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do this thing.
Let's go while we're young.
Right.
Any thoughts from you, Mike, about or Ivan, or stuff about things you want to see next?
Well, besides Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movie, I want to see that after Endgame.
No, I mean coming out of this.
Yeah, out of this film that we're seeing this weekend. We all want to see Spider-Man in July.
That's a given.
Wow. But I think I mentioned it. I mentioned that 3 are gonna go out. We're going to see, we might see possibly 3 new characters. Will they be female characters? Could very well be, because noticing that we're, doing the gender role thing now, which has been happening a lot in the movies. Who knows? Maybe Valkyrie, might become a major player. Maybe right out of Clear Blue Sky. Maybe some of the other not so known female heroes might end up coming back in place of the guys that went out.
Well, it's interesting because I will say this. Here's what's interesting. So they have, and this is an interesting question. Marvel's going to probably want to evolve some of their characters to what's out there. And what's interesting to me is, Marvel decided to go with Peter Parker for their Marvel movies. Okay, right. And that makes sense to me. I'm good with that.
All right.
But what's interesting is you just had a huge hit for Sony with Into the Spider-Verse, where Miles Morales is out there. But the interesting part is, if you watch Homecoming, there's the scene where
in the parking lot we talked about this,
right? Yeah. With Miles's uncle, and he talks about he's got a nephew. So here's the real question, and this is where it's going to be interesting. Is there's talk about Tom Holland might be playing double duty between Sony and Disney, and them keeping it that way. But here's the thing: are they really going to do that? Or honestly, if I was Sony right now, I might want to go cast a Miles Morales and tell Marvel, hey, thanks, but no thanks. You can keep Tom Holland.
Yeah.
That would be strategically gratuitous for that, I think.
Strategically gratuitous.
Mm-hmm.
Gratuitous.
Because I agree with you. I think there are going to be some characters that are going to need to shift out, or certain things are going to have to happen. I will tell you, some of the rumors that are out there, I'm not thrilled about. I know they're talking about it. I think now, again, they're talking about it in Inhumans movie. Or at least there's rumors of it. And I'm like...
They tried the Inhumans and they fell flat on their face.
Yeah, the only thing I could come up with on that, Mike, is at least it would be the movie and
budget,
not a TV
budget.
Yeah, right. So
that's why they had to cut Medusa's hair.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's why I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like, I'm not.
But we're getting the Wanda and Vision show. We're getting the Loki show. We're getting the Falcon and Bucky show.
We're getting a Hawkeye show now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, and my understanding is all those things will feed from whatever happened in all this stuff. So we'll see where this goes.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, well, I said,
a lot of people cannot wait, man. It's going to be the big deal, man.
Well, here's the real question. Do we think it's interesting? They're now saying that the runtime may affect box office numbers in terms of total number of runs that they can run in a weekend.
Right.
Because of how long it is, which is fascinating. But
well, this wasn't a factor for Lord of the Rings.
No, because and then the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, didn't every movie run over 3 hours?
Did it? I don't remember.
I think Return of the King was, but I don't think the first two were.
Yeah, but I don't think Lord of the Rings made the kind of money like Avatar kind of money, did they?
I don't know if they did. I don't think they did collectively. I think they did individually. But then again, some of the...
What?
I said the Lord of the Rings might have made more money in their individual releases than they did collectively. I'm talking like DVD sales and things of this nature.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, how do they not make more money collectively if they do well individually?
They made more money by themselves. What?
Wait,
okay.
what?
Okay, we understand
Now
what
I
you mean
understand.
now, Ivan.
Now I understand what you're saying, Ivan.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I lost
I'm like, wait, no. I'm not a grammarian, but that one doesn't sound right.
It's okay. You're more than welcome to it.
So, any final thoughts here on Endgame before we move on?
Okay, so here's my question. And this
Pose your question.
When are you planning to go to the bathroom? And question 2, when do you plan on starting to drink your drink in the theater?
I'm not taking a beverage. I'm going to go to the bathroom before the trailers start.
Before the trailers, okay.
Just before the trailers start, I'm going to run out, do my thing. Like I said, there's going to be 6 of us, all my friends and I, and we usually meet for dinner before some of these movies, but we're not doing it this time because I don't want to fill up. So
yeah,
we're doing our own digestive thing before
the whole digestive thing.
Yeah, that's right. Like we're just gonna meet at the theater, and we're all in charge of our own bodies at that point.
Yeah,
okay.
Old body polish happening.
No, exactly. I don't think I'm gonna even buy we usually get my nachos and my cola, but I ain't doing it this week. I don't think maybe if I catch it a second time, then I can pace myself a little better. I don't know, but no, I'm not getting a drink, and I will obviously going to take care of my business just before the trailers start. Well, who knows how many trailers we're going to get?
That's true, and
we might get 2. We might get 7.
I think, I'm not going to go use the I'm going to use the bathroom before I go in. And if I do anything, if I'm gonna eat hours before the movie, so that way I get the feeling of fullness, and then I won't have any need for it. Then pause it, and then go inside and sit with the movie all the way through it, and not move nary an inch, with the exception of screaming and cheering and jumping up and down in my chair.
Now, Ivan, we watched Shazam together.
Yeah,
and you were a little vocal at times during the film.
I do that.
Yeah, you got to curb that.
Oh, sorry.
You might get hurt. If I see you on the news, I'll know why.
Well, it's because there were points in Shazam that I was kind of like, and I was just trying to, making little mental notes. I guess I spoke aloud what was going on in my head.
Inside
so I'm sorry
voice,
about
Ivan.
That. Inside voice.
So here's the thing. When you have a theater that's totally full, you can't do that. But if you're at the theater and there's maybe 10 people, and there's nobody around you,
you feel less inclined to keep quiet and be a little.
Yeah. I still remember I was watching when I was watching Infinity War, and I'm like, oh hell no, and I said that out loud. It was funny because somebody from one of the other rows heard me and started laughing. It reminds me of, oh God, what was that? There's a bad movie that, it was Wing Commander.
Oh God, that bad,
Yeah.
with Freddie Prinze.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was awful.
But there's a reason I'm bringing this up, which is there's a full theater to see Wing Commander, and the reason it's a full theater is this is back in the day when trailers weren't on the internet, and the only way you could see a trailer was if you went to go see the stupid movie, and that was the first trailer for episode 1.
Oh, that's why.
Okay, and so there were people who are like, well, screw it, we're already paid, we're already here. Okay, and I'll never forget. There's a scene where there's a scene where Freddie Prinze's little spaceship goes flying off, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, there's this big, huge, like, giant battleship-like ship that comes out from behind the planet and is following him. And some little kid's like, and this entire theater's silent, and some little kid yells, "How in the hell did you miss that?" And the entire audience started dying. The entire audience is dying. Because everybody's thinking the exact same thing, which is, you have to be a moron to miss that. How did you miss that? So, that's the caveat I have to you can't speak in the theater, which is, it better be fucking funny. It better be.
I don't think what did I say? What did I say during Shazam that took me out there? I mean, was I making commentary?
Yeah, you just made a couple like, what was that? Whoa, okay, what was that about? Or something like that. I don't remember.
What was that about? I mean, because I was wondering, what was that about?
So, Ivan, do you have tickets for when you're going to go, or are you just planning on trying to wing your way in?
I'm just trying to wing my way in, so wish me luck. But that's why I'm going on Sunday. Because
a lot of people are off work on Sunday, you know.
Oh,
and a lot of us fans might even want to go see it a second time on Sunday.
Well, here's the thing, though. There's millions of theaters up in here, and I'm sure everybody and their mama is going to be showing it up this way.
Millions of theaters.
I'm sure, yeah, there are myriads of theaters up here. I'm sure I'll find one seat. Yeah, myriad of theaters.
Like Carl Sagan, billions and billions of theaters.
So no, myriad of theaters. There's lots of them.
I don't know Myriad theaters. I haven't been to one.
Never met Myriad.
Nope, never met Myriad.
Yeah.
Well, good luck getting your ticket, Ivan.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Okay, and when I do, okay, then
you'll be in the front row, the crappy seats in the front row.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to
and I am not going to be in the chin raiser seats.
You'll need a chiropractor after Endgame.
Can I at least give you a suggestion? Find the theaters that are running like either 24/7 or the ones that are doing early showings, because that's your best shot.
Yeah.
Right. So
don't be like, I'm going to the 1 o'clock in the afternoon showing on a Sunday. Don't.
No. I know. I'm gonna plan on going to like the 11 o'clock showing.
Oh, you're not getting a seat.
Nope.
You're not getting a seat for an 11 o'clock showing on Sunday. No way.
At 11 a.m.?
No way.
On a Sunday?
On a Sunday? Good luck.
Oh, well, we'll see. Where's Ivan? We'll find out where Ivan's at on Sunday.
Let me check my theater and see what the status is. I want to see how full it is.
So I can tell you that I got my tickets. This is where Michael died. I bought my tickets on Saturday, but I am going at 9:30 in the a.m. on Friday morning.
See? Yep.
Okay. And it's funny, there is an 8 a.m. showing. I'm not going to that because it was one of the like more expensive types, and I'm like, screw it. I don't need IMAX. I don't need all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's costing me a whopping $6 for the movie.
Oh, there you go.
Which is why you always want to go before noon, kids.
Right.
So I'm playing hooky, and I have a friend of mine who's coming with. So it's really funny because I'm trying to figure out how I want to work this. Because I'm certainly going to need something to drink, because I'm going to need something to eat, because I won't have had anything to eat, because that'll be like right around when I wake up in the morning, and I'll pretty much just throw on clothes and head over. I'm thinking there won't be any previews that I haven't seen or ones that I don't want, that I'll want to see, because if there was anything that was worthwhile, it's probably been on social media or the internet already. So my thinking is, somewhere near the back end of the trailers, I'm going. And then I think I'm going to try to hold off to drinking anything for a little bit.
Maybe if I go into theater and I ask somebody, employees, and ask them how many trailers are there before.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, why do they are sworn to secrecy to say, we don't need to tell you?
No, that they'll tell you.
Just say, hey man, I have a condition. That's all you got to say.
Oh boy, pull that card, will you?
How many trailers are there before this movie starts?
Well,
how many trailers are there at the end of the movie?
You know what?
Let's find out.
You know what's really funny? I think at this point, given how long the movie is and all this shit, somebody's going to ask the question flat out, which is, bitch, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
When is the last trailer? So I know.
Which is the last one? That's the best question of all. Yeah.
Which is the last trailer? So I know that I can go to the bathroom and come back.
Yeah, probably the Star Wars one, I'd presume.
You think you're getting the Star Wars trailer?
I think we'll get the Episode 9 trailer from last week.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, that would be the way to go.
That would make sense.
Okay, so
that's
all will be revealed in just days away.
I do have one more thing. Like I said, I do kind of hope that one of the last scenes is a cut as a end credits scene where Deadpool shows up late.
Yes, that'd be great. That would be.
He's like, guys, cool. I'm here.
Yes. Oh crap! Okay. I missed it.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead.
No, not even everybody's dead. It's they're all done.
Oh. It's over.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even think you need them in the movie. I don't even think you need anybody else in the movie. I think he just needs to show up, and it would be hysterical if he was wearing one of those Avengers suits. That would be hysterical.
That would be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
That would be, and you could film that without needing anybody, and you could have done it at the last minute. But I doubt that they did.
So that's the thing.
Who knows? They might have anticipated us, man. Who knows?
No, but the problem is, Ivan, is that the sale didn't go through till somewhere around mid-March. So technically, they didn't have rights to anything until that point. The only way it would have happened is if they had already had agreement that immediately, unlike that, as soon as that changed that day, they filmed the sequence and put it in.
Yep.
You never know.
Would have been down for it.
You know he would have. That would have been. I am waiting. By the way, that is the one thing I would not be shocked about. By the way, Mike, how shocking would it be if this whole time they're sitting there and they're like, "Oh, you're not going to see anybody from the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or anything like that," and then all of a sudden you see one of them pop up.
Yeah, here's Reed Richards. Here's
right, or something crazy like that. Like, oh, here's Galactus, or the Silver Surfer, or somebody like that. Because I think it's hard to bring the Fantastic Four, but it'd be interesting if you brought it. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You saw the preview for Krypton, right, Mike? I know I did.
Yes, I did. So looks good.
Yeah. No, that show's crazy. I'm curious to see how that's going to work because you got Zod running the planet, you got Doomsday on the loose, and apparently Lobo's going to show up. So all hell is going to break loose. And
it's like fucking chaos, man.
It is. It's like by the end of the and by the way, the protagonist is stuck in the Phantom Zone
with Brainiac.
Brainiac.
Yeah.
And I know how Mike and I were both like when we watched the end of the series. We're at the end of the first season. We're all like,
how's he gonna get out of this?
Holy shit! They really put them in the. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. And apparently, one of the Earth, Detroit is now a bottled city, for Zod or Brainiac or something, and Adam Strange is stuck in there. You know, I am curious. That's the other thing I'm curious about, Mike. I will say this: I know Lobo's going to show up. I'm curious to see There had been talk that they were going to bring other people from the future, but that might have been Zod. But I'm just curious if at some point they can't bring in another C or D list character to like that, if you know what I mean. Where they can bring somebody back from the future like they did with Adam Strange.
And
It'd
what
be
was that?
interesting.
What, June?
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. And
June.
this week, season 2 of Cobra Kai drops. So yeah, we get lots of neat nerd stuff right up from down the aisle here. So
yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Right, and then I guess so. We'll find out a few other things too, because I think in a couple of weeks is upfronts for TV. So we'll find out what data. Oh, that's the other thing. The first real casualty of Disney owning all the X-Men stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The Gifted is gone.
Oh, okay.
There will not be a season 3 of The Gifted. Although there's a little bit of a, I don't know how true it is. There's a rumor out there that they're talking about moving season 3 to Disney Plus or Hulu, which I think would be awesome. Because I got to be honest with you, that show in season 2 was really, really good, and it's unfortunate, especially if you're talking about you've got no plans for the X universe for 10 years. With movies, then I got news for you. Then why not give us The Gifted?
That would be the way to go if they were smart about it.
Yeah, well.
Let's hope that's the case. Let's hope that's the case.
Well, but it sounds like that's not the case. It's too bad. Season 2 was much better than season 1, and it's too bad because they leave us on a pretty good cliffhanger, and I would have loved to have known where they were going to go with it. But
well, maybe we'll get that eventually someday.
Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
Well, this week will be crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for News of the Squared. Let me see if I can pull anything up. Let's start with the obvious one, since we're right after Easter. Has everybody seen the footage of the Easter Bunny who whooped ass on that guy?
Oh, my God.
Yes.
It's all over the internet.
Yep.
Where he's like shadow boxing and he saves the woman, all that stuff?
God. Why?
Peter Rabbit is rung amok.
Well, apparently he was saving a woman from getting beat up.
Uh-huh.
You could say he was hopping mad.
Yeah. He threw a couple rabbit punches, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had his ear to the ground and found out what was going on. Mm-hmm.
All right, so where do you want to start, Mike?
Let's start with, there's so many here. We shout out to Scott for bringing all these crazy, fun stories.
Woo, 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 Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
Scott Brown. That's his name.
Let's start with, we talked about this last week. No, I don't think we did. This was March 17th? Yeah, this is new. Okay, here we go. Story from CNN Business, Carl's Jr. will be the testing ground for a cannabis burger.
Nice.
So at the forefront of the CBD trend.
Carl's Jr. Is that like the subsidiary of Hardee's Carl's Jr.?
I think so.
Yeah.
The chain said on Wednesday that it will sell the Rocky Mountain High, a cheeseburger delight burger at one location in Denver for just one day, of course, $4.20. The burger features a sauce infused with CBD or cannabidiol, I guess is how it's pronounced.
Cannabinoid.
All right.
Cannabinoid.
A non-psychoactive hemp derivative.
Right.
Though the promotion is limited, it's not a stunt. The burger chain is using the test to determine whether a CBD burger belongs on its permanent menu, says Patty Trevino, Senior Vice President of Brand Marketing for Carl's Jr. It is something that feels right for the brand, she told CNN Business. We are all about innovation. Carl's Jr. is hoping to please their customers, whom Trevino says tend to be interested in new trends and getting high. It's also chasing future Carl's Jr.'s customers that are younger, says Trevino. So,
I have a feeling that fries sales are going to spike.
That's right.
But the thing is, what if you're high already, and then you're just going to get more high because you're hungry and you want to just eat this cannabinoid, burger, this, Rocky Mountain High burger? I mean, how high do you want to really be? Just enjoy such a thing. But I guess if you don't get high on a daily basis, I guess that could be an adventure.
I certainly need a shake.
Well, yeah, you definitely would need the shake for that, and the fries, but see that because CBD, being the derivative of marijuana, which of course does not have the high effect that you would get from regular marijuana. I mean, there's marijuana and then there's hemp, which, you got two totally different situations between the two. And, there's cannabinoid, products already starting to stock on the shelves at like Walgreens and CVS and stuff for pain relief, which, and then we have the clinics up here that are trying to open up, trying to do a lot of it, like I said, a lot of that CBD situation is for medicinal, which is a good thing, in that respect. I think the intent is just to try to make people who are suffering from pain a lot less pain, for a lot less pain, and not necessarily with trying to make the world high all the time. I mean, I don't think that's the intent at all. But yeah, CBD burgers. Would that be something you would try?
No.
No?
I don't know. Maybe.
Probably not. Not for me.
I'll take 3 dozen fries with it.
I don't think I've ever eaten at a Carl's Jr. Maybe I have once. I'm not sure.
Carl's Jr. is also with Hardee's, I think, right?
Yeah,
but that's what Hardee's. I just said.
There used to be one at Island Lake I used to go to all the time when I was seeing my friend Kevin to do our gaming. But I remember the burgers used to be good, but then one day they changed, and then they just weren't good anymore. And then Hardee's went away, so oh well.
Well, I don't know. I know you and I did a Hardee's once, long time ago.
Yeah.
You and I did a Hardee's.
Oh, well.
Hardee's is not really an Illinois thing.
Not anymore. No, they used to be around in Illinois.
Well,
yeah, they were all like sparse, very sparse. It's kind of like the Checkers. They used to have a lot of them, and then they went away, and now you see like maybe 1 or 2 here and there.
So, oh well.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I got something. I was able to pull one up.
All right.
So apparently now vasectomy cakes are a thing.
What?
Vasectomy cakes.
Oh my.
The one I'm looking at here says 100% juice, no seeds, happy vasectomy. With a lemon.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's also hysterectomy cakes that are coming out too. Apparently, it costs these people $30 for this thing. Apparently, it is in Knowlesville, Tennessee, that somebody bought one, and apparently, this is now a popularized thing. Is vasectomy cakes. And
so what is it? It's just a phallus kind of cut off or something?
Well, no, this one has lemons on it, and it says 100% juice, no seeds, and it says happy vasectomy.
Oh, brother. That's, I don't see that being a nationwide trend anytime soon.
I don't know. Apparently, supposedly there are people who want them, so.
Shit. That's just like the over the hill cakes where they're all tombstones. Have you ever seen those?
No, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, there's a cake they call it the over the hill cake, and it's a huge tombstone.
Oh, good Lord. I do have another one as long as we're here. Because, of course, we have to have another. As long as we've got fighting bunnies from Florida, we now have Florida teenager arrested after being filmed wrestling a fake alligator at the mall. A Florida man was arrested after being filmed wrestling a fake alligator in the mall. He was charged with criminal mischief after damaging the display alligator at the Falls Shopping Center in Miami-Dade County. The police said that the manager of the mall confirmed that the gator, which was valued at $3,000, $690 was damaged from March 30th incident. The witness identified the individual after watching the video and confessed to the incident and apologized after he was arrested. It was unclear if he had a lawyer. And he was involved in a separate. The same gentleman was involved in an incident earlier in that week when he allegedly performed a wrestling move on his high school principal.
Oh boy!
He allegedly performed the same RKO wrestling move. On your principal?
Oh.
I know what that move is. That's not good. It's kind of like a Stone Cold Steve. It's kind of like a stunner. It's Randy Orton's move. It's like it's almost like yeah. It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good. It's kind of like a diamond cutter kind of thing. But yeah, that's not good. It was charged with battery of a specificized official employee and interference with interference with an educational institution. Yeah, I'd call it that. So apparently that happened. Is there a video of this on our site? There's got to be. Yeah, there is.
There's video? Nice.
Yeah,
video.
put
Of
it
course
up.
there's video. There has to be video. What else you got, Mike?
Let's see. I have this one here about a follow-up to one of our stories about this man made a lawn display. I think we talked about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Last week, the Clifton, New Jersey resident Desiree Shepstone hacked apart Gange's risque Easter tableau. At this time of the crime, a dooming crime, Shepstone has been charged with criminal mischief for her rampage. The display included 5 busty mannequins stationed outside Gange's dental office and outfitted negligees, rabbit ears, fishnet stockings. But the guy made But this was a previous story from a couple of shows ago about a guy who was not happy with his neighbors, so he set up a crazy, sexy lawn display. So this is a follow-up here. That he's gone even more overboard, like topless mannequins, little, like the Chippendales kind of outfits.
Oh my God!
I remember this now.
Yeah. But speaking of clothing or lack thereof, a woman. This is from ABC7. A woman avoids the $85 overweight baggage fee by wearing 9 pounds of clothing on her flight. Story out of Manchester, England. How far would you go to avoid paying an overweight baggage fee? One woman decided to layer up after being told her suitcase was too heavy.
So she wore all her clothes.
She wore 9 pounds of clothing on her plane instead of forking over the $85 overweight baggage fee.
Now that's clever.
Wait. So where was the flight landing?
Let's see.
Does it say?
The article doesn't say. We don't have video of the resourceful passenger, so we are getting creative with the reenactment. The woman had booked an all-inclusive vacation that did not bring along enough money. I didn't want to be using the little amount I had, so I just could get my bag on the plane, Natalie Wynn told The Sun. I literally said, I'm not paying it, and started putting my clothes on. I was boiling, absolutely boiling. She ended up wearing nearly half of the clothes she had packed, including 7 dresses, a skirt, 2 pairs of shoes, 2 pairs of shorts, and a cardigan. How do you wear 2 pairs of shoes if you're not walking? How do you do that?
I don't know. Well, that was the part. That's the reason why I was going to ask is
maybe she stuffed one pair of shoes into another pair of shoes.
Maybe.
That's why I was going to ask is you're wearing 9 pounds of clothing. Depending on how long that flight is, man, you might have lost some weight doing that.
And then, of course, how about where your destination is? I mean, what if you're going to some place where it's like 95 degrees?
Now, forget that. How would you like to be the person sitting next to her?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. How would you like to be that person?
Well, at least I would not need a pillow. All I would do is lay my head against her because she'd be the biggest thing in the whole chair.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. It's funny. This story reminds me when I used to work out regularly at Lifetime Fitness. There was a small Asian woman who used to come into the dry sauna. No lie, she would be wearing she was wearing like this really major sweatsuit, and over it she wore a parka.
Why?
Because that way she would lose more weight that way.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
Because
she's
she would
sweating.
sweat more.
Yeah.
She would sweat more because she was wearing the parka.
Well, then when you drink water to rehydrate yourself, you're going to gain that weight back.
Right.
Well,
So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And not
I
to
didn't say it made sense. I just said I watched it. I saw it. I'm like, man.
Helps her feel better when she gets on that scale, I guess.
I guess.
There are ways to do that, though. I won't get. Yeah, this is not the time. But I always found it funny. It's like you hear all those stories about like people wearing trash cans and all that type of stuff. So yeah, that doesn't.
We're wearing garbage bags.
Right. Well, I gotta make weight, so I gotta,
So I got to go outside in 95-degree weather in a garbage bag.
Right, or I gotta find a wet sauna and wear this in it for like 3 hours and try not to die or something.
Do they still have? Do they still have those chambers? Those sauna chambers where the only thing you get to see is your head, but the rest of your body is inside of a tank? Do they still have stuff like that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know that I would be. That would be
reduction chambers. I think they used to be called.
It's not the Chamber of Secrets from Harry Potter.
No,
I don't know about that, but
sounds more like a crypt if you ask me. But so apparently, on April 16th, there was a whodunit mystery on one of ESPN's most popular shows. Have you gentlemen ever heard of a show called ESPN First Take?
No.
I've heard of the title, but I've never seen it.
So it's Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith and Sarah Spade, and they're at Molly Quirram, Steve Kellerman and Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, and apparently at some point in the middle of the show while they're arguing over something, you can hear a visible fart on it. Yeah, apparently you can hear it. They actually have it. Deadspin has it where they have narrowed it down and put it on slow-mo to try to figure out who is the culprit, but you can definitely hear it. So yeah, wow. There's that. I don't know why this article. I'm like looking at this now. We have some articles that like got on there like multiple times. Apparently, I must have been scared crapless about this because apparently we are now reviving pig brains.
Reviving what?
Pig brains.
Why were you reviving pig brains?
I don't know. This goes. This kind of goes back to my whole thing about we're not going to die. We're not going to die from the environment. No. We're going to do stupid shit and kill ourselves.
Yeah, we're doomed.
Yeah.
1,000 ways to die.
Yeah. Here's an idea. Let's bring back zombie pigs. That's a great idea.
Sure.
That's right up there with figuring out new ways to do automation to the point of where we get the Matrix or Skynet. That's phenomenal.
Zombie bacon.
I'm trying to get to the article. Maybe Mike, you can get it because I can't get it to pull up for me at the moment.
Oh, the pig article?
Yeah, the pig article.
Let's see here.
We're having technical difficulties in the home office of Molten Grove today.
Pig brains partially revived hours after death. What it means for people. It means we're screwed. In a feat sure to fire up ethical and philosophical debate, a new system has restored circulation and oxygen flow to a dead mammal brain. Brains. Scientists have restored cellular function in 32 pig brains that have been dead for hours, opening up a new avenue in treating brain disease and taking our definition of brain death to its core. Announced on Wednesday in the journal Nature, researchers at the Yale University School of Medicine devised a system roughly analogous to a dialysis machine that restores circulation and oxygen flow to a dead brain. The researchers did not kill any animals for the purpose of the experiment. They acquired the pig heads from a food processing plant near New Haven, Connecticut, after the pigs had already been killed for their meat. And technically, the pig brains remained dead by design. The treated brains did not show any signs of the organized electrical neural activity required for awareness or consciousness. Clinically defined, this is not a living brain.
That's called a zombie.
Yep.
That's called a zombie brain. Yeah.
Sometimes dead pigs are better. The new system instead kept the brains in far better shape than brains left to decompose on their own, restoring functions such as the ability to take in glucose and oxygen for up to 6 hours at a time. Researchers say the technique could give a major boost to studies of human health by providing rich testbed for studying brain disorders and diseases.
I
So,
don't need
for science, for medicine. Nope,
Yes.
you're creating a zombie apocalypse. Stop it.
Yes,
Stop.
stop. I do not need my bacon to want to eat me.
Nope. That's the worst kind of bacon.
Here, we'll go here. 65-year-old woman beats half-naked 300-pound man with a bat.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why?
We talk about the Florida man. Well, let's talk about the Florida woman. Gainesville, Florida. It was early Sunday morning when 65-year-old Clarice Gainey heard a noise outside her apartment. She looked out her window and she saw a man in his boxers pulling at her car door handle and knocking on the window, attempting to break in.
Okay.
Before calling police, she took matters into her own hands. I grabbed a bat, I braced myself, I eased open the door. That's when the police say that Gainey, a 5'6", 300-pound. Say that guy. Wait, no. Apparently, the guy who was 300 pounds charged her.
Okay.
I took out a bat. This is her quote. I took the bat and I hit him upside the head like, pya, ow.
Here comes this 300-pound guy. I'm just going to take this bat and beat the fuck out of him.
Mosley ran to a nearby mobile home trailer park. Shocking. Leaving behind his sock, shirt, and his pants. He wasn't in his drawers. He didn't have no shoes, no shirt, or nothing. A canine unit tracked him inside his
Beat that man out of his clothes, man.
A canine mobile unit tracked him inside a mobile home where they say he was wearing a new pair of pants with cocaine in his pocket. Yep. Even better. Officers brought Mosley back to Gainey to identify him. She says she could easily identify him by not only his appearance, but the injury to his head. No shit, Sherlock.
Okay.
He's being held for 2 counts of burglary and drug possession. He better be glad I didn't have a gun, because I would have shot him. But this is my gun right here, the baseball bat, because I go pee-ow.
Pee-ow.
Self-defense.
There you go. And there you go.
Wait, hold on. I need to figure something out.
What?
Is this my... Okay. So here, hold on a second. They gave a description of the guy, this Antonio Mosley, and I saw 300 pounds. And I assumed this height on this was for the woman. 5'6", 300 pounds.
Wait a minute.
That guy is like...
Excuse me, I'm 315 pounds. I'm 5'6.5".
Well, as long as you're not anybody with a baseball bat, you should be fine.
I mean, I'm a big dude, man, but yeah.
Don't go to Gainesville and don't be half naked trying to get into her stuff.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna go there to have some old 65-year-old lady beat the fuck out of me. No, that's okay. She'll kick my ass right out of my clothes. Oh my God.
Let's see what else we got. I know I should get back to Mike and let him read a couple, but there's too many good ones right here. Like, man accused of throwing iguana at a restaurant manager.
Bad shit.
And of course, if it doesn't take place in Florida, it has to be in Ohio. Which is exactly where this happened.
Ohio bad shit.
I just kind of laugh because it's like, why would anyone ever want to live in either Ohio or Florida? This is where all this shit happens.
Crazy shit.
Oh, that's where all the crazy shit happens.
That's all the crazy shit.
I got another Florida story too. Yeah. Go.
You know what? You know what it is? It's got to be the fact that they don't have snow.
And their brain bakes, therefore they just do crazy shit all year.
You know, if you've got that much nice weather, dumb shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't get negative 55, so that's why it happens. But anyway, this was in Ohio, which doesn't.
They all get crazy by the heat.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that kills that entire hypothesis. Ohio, someplace called Paynesville. So we went from Gainesville to Paynesville.
Okay.
Except in Ohio. Police say an unruly customer at a restaurant in Ohio pulled an iguana from under his shirt, swung it around, and threw it at the manager. Now, what the?
What in the fucking an iguana?
Wait, here comes the best part. They were called to the Perkins. How do you walk into a Perkins with an iguana under your shirt?
Is that an iguana?
Not notice. This is
is that an iguana in your shirt, or are you just happy to see everybody?
Seriously, apparently this happened 30 miles northeast of Cleveland. What provoked the attack? A 49-year-old was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest and animal cruelty. Police say the lizard, who they named Copper, was taken to the Lake County Humane Society to be checked by a veterinarian. Here's the part I don't understand. Are they really, not... Nobody's sitting there going, hey, what's that under your shirt?
I don't know, man. I mean, people running around with animals in their clothes, that kind of gets you to wondering a little bit.
How do you miss an iguana?
Well, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, maybe he wasn't that big in an iguana. I don't know.
How do you miss an iguana? I mean,
well,
in fairness, I will admit, if you're working at a Perkins, maybe that makes sense. I mean, Perkins is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of Denny's.
Did it say what time of day this was?
I think morning.
Yeah, early morning.
I could be wrong.
During the breakfast rush.
What do you got, Mike?
I'd like a side of iguana with my eggs, please.
Yeah, really. I don't want iguana eggs, that's for sure.
Or guano eggs, for that matter.
Oh.
No.
What do you got, Mike?
A Miami man, another Florida story.
Jesus.
Was spotted driving recklessly in his 2016 Ferrari sports car. Was arrested early Sunday morning on Highway 2 after fleeing from deputies at more than 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
According to Monroe County Sheriff's Department, deputies received a call about a Ferrari driving at a high rate of speed down Highway 1 when Sergeant Robert Dosh spotted the suspect's vehicle and attempted to pull him over. The driver fled, increasing his speed from 75 to 100 miles an hour, a statement said.
Wow.
Sergeant Dosh was able to catch up with the driver of the Ferrari, later identified as Gabriel Molina, after he spotted the sports car at a gas station down the highway. The speedy driver was taken into custody, but not Molina admitted to speeding, the deputy saying, this is a great quote, "The car is a Ferrari and it goes fast." However, the suspect denied that he was fleeing from officers in the quote-unquote fast Ferrari. But a woman who was accompanying Molina in the vehicle told officers otherwise, according to the statement from the department. The female in the passenger seat stated that Molina did indeed see the policeman's headlights or lights and heard the siren. She also stated she told Molina to slow down. The woman was allowed to leave and was not held by officers.
Threw his ass under the bus.
Molina was charged with felony fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer with his lights on. The suspect is due to be arraigned in court on May 7th. That's why you go. It's a Ferrari. You have to go fast. I mean,
you have to go fast.
But yeah,
it's a Ferrari.
Well, here's the real question: if you're in a Ferrari and you're in pursuit, Ferrari goes faster than 100 miles an hour. You better put the pedal to the metal and you better go.
Well, apparently the passenger was egging him on to go slower. So
right. Well, here's the other thing. maybe the next time you do that, you should have a full tank of gas.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because there's so many Ferraris that you'll see stopped at the gas station. And by the way, I don't know who that woman was, but it better not be the wife.
I don't know. This might have been just a girlfriend or something.
Yeah, it has to be. Has to be. To throw them under the bus that badly? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see if I got one more from Scott here. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Police question the head of an anatomical skeleton company after bones of 500 people were discovered in a backyard.
What?
The president of a company that builds anatomical skeletons for schools and laboratories is being investigated by Japanese police after they found the remains of as many as 500 people in the garden of a building used by the company.
Oh, my gosh.
Wait, these are not real people, right?
These are apparently real bones from real people.
Oh, my gosh.
The building in
My
question
goodness.
belonged to one of its employees and doubled up as an office for the Habara Skeleton Specimen Research Institute. However, this employee died due to illness last November, leading police to discover a huge number of human bones in his backyard.
Oh, my gosh.
The discovery of the bones in Tokyo's Adachi ward was first reported by Japanese newspapers back in February. An officer dispatched to the home found large amounts of bones inside and in the yard, wrote Shota Harumashi and Yokitasha Yamamoto for the newspaper. I'm not even gonna. I'm getting late. It's a Japanese newspaper, believe me. Hey, folks, had a long day.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese newspaper. The bones were later identified as human. Now, the man in charge of the company is being questioned and has not been reported to public prosecutors by police. The man has not been named as he has not yet been charged and is accused of illegally dumping the human bones in the garden a number of years ago and violating Japan's Waste Management and Public Cleansing Act.
Okay. Are you sure the guy wasn't a cannibal?
Mm-hmm. Now, so where did the bones come from? The skeleton remains were apparently brought to Japan from India a few decades back. A person connected to the investigation told police, but before the 1970s, it was common practice for Japanese companies to use real human bones to build anatomical skeletons for schools, universities, and laboratories.
Wow.
So, India used to be the world's leading exporter of human bones for medical study, but the practice was outlawed in 1985. Many skeletons were robbed from graves, and the country exported a vast 60,000 skulls the year before the ban came into place, reports the Chicago Tribune. Now,
wow, that's crazy.
Now, stolen bones can still be purchased on the black market, but just a couple of years ago, Indian police arrested 8 people suspected of smuggling stolen bones in West Bengal. So, the investigation is ongoing, but yeah, just outdated laws and just piles and piles of bones. So,
got a bone to pick.
It's funny. It's funny because it's funny. Speaking of bones and boneheaded in India, India takes major damage to a new $3 billion submarine by leaving the hatch open.
Or they put in a screen door.
That's all it takes. The modern submarine is not a simple machine. A loss of propulsion, unexpected flooding, or trouble with reactors or weapons can doom a sub crew to a watery grave. Also, it's a good idea, to close the hatches before you dive. All a lesson learned for the Indian Navy, which managed to put their country's first nuclear submarine.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Somebody's going to hear about that.
This is the part where I'm out of commission. First nuclear missile submarine, the 2.9 billion INS Airman, out of commission in the most boneheaded way possible.
Oh, man.
I'm waiting for this article to pull up a little more. The Hindu reported yesterday that it has been out of commission since suffering major damage some 10 months ago due to what Navy sources have categorized as human error, which allowing water to flood the sub's propulsion compartment after failing to secure one of the vessel's external hatches.
That's great.
Nobody thought, as they were diving, hey, maybe we should close that.
Forgive me, I'm waiting for the rest of this article to load. We're with all the fun technical difficulties. I want to hear more about this. But it does remind me of a story I remember from history class as a kid, where the Chinese went and built their first major boat, and they built it out of all kinds of ornate stone and marble and all this shit.
And then
it was
they
like the most expensive
sank.
boat ever made, and then sank to the bottom
because it was too damn heavy. I remember that story.
Yeah, because it was too heavy and they didn't realize that you needed to do that. I'm not getting the rest of the story. Mike, if you can pull this up. But yeah, this sounds like something out of McHale's Navy or something like that. I can't believe it. How do
Stand by.
Isn't there a... You would think, you got the thing on the door. When the door's open, the door is ajar. How about the hatch is ajar?
You would think that they would have some kind of warning system. It's a nuclear submarine with all the bells and whistles. You would think they would have had an alarm system to tell you, excuse me, the fucking hatch is open.
Yeah, don't
close it.
Yeah, don't do that. Pull up.
It's hard to articulate how major a foul-up this is. But Kyle Mizukami does a good job at Popular Mechanics. Indian authorities ordered the pipe replacement because they likely felt that pipes exposed to corrosive seawater couldn't be trusted again, particularly pipes that carry pressurized water coolant to and from the ship's 83-megawatt nuclear reactor.
Oh, wow, okay.
For context, a submarine assigned to Britain's Royal Navy narrowly avoided a complete reactor meltdown in 2012 after the power sources for its coolant system failed. The incident is also quite an embarrassment and strategic concern for the Indian Armed Forces. A Russian Akula-class attack sub modified to accommodate a variety of ballistic missiles. The Ariane represented a major advance in India's nuclear triad after its completion in October 2016. Indeed, the Ariane's ability to deliver K-15 short-range and K-4 intermediate-range nuclear missiles was envisioned as a powerful and deterrent against India's uneasy nuclear state neighbor, Pakistan. So,
whoops.
Yep.
Yikes.
Wow.
This is,
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's all by itself.
That's huge. That's fucking huge.
All I know is, as soon as I saw that one, I was like, "Yep, that one's going on." I'm gonna need you to pull this one up, Mike. But we have to do this story.
Okay.
Doral, Florida, which, by the way, I believe Doral is a pretty rich location in Florida, but apparently they don't know how to spell.
Oh, God. Okay, this will be a good closer. Good closer.
Yes.
No, we got a couple more that are better closers. Let me get to them. There's at least one more we have to get to. So they misspelled the word school in the school zone. They spelled school S-C-O-H-O-L. I can't believe it. Oh, boy. Where's the 5-year-old to stand right behind him and go, "That's not how you spell school"?
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
No. You're smarter than a 5-year-old.
Resident Maxwell Easters said, "It's not a good thing when you misspell school. It's not a good look at all."
No.
Not in the school zone, no.
The flub went viral on social media, and the city later tweeted that the private contractor responsible for the error has now corrected its work.
Thank God.
It's unknown how long the mistake was on the road until a motorist pointed it out.
I bet you several thousand pictures must have happened before that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so along those lines, as long as we're talking about road stories, apparently a man had a rapid heartbeat. A man's rapid heartbeat returned to normal when an ambulance hit the pothole.
Okay. Kind of kicked it in, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, Mike, if you can grab this.
Yeah, this is from ABC7 Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. This is from ABC7 Chicago. It would be hard to find anyone who likes potholes, but hitting one apparently saved a Nebraska man's life.
Wait, stop. This happened in Nebraska?
Yes.
It's not Ohio or Florida.
No.
Oh, boy, Nebraska story.
Yeah, you know what's great? You notice how the Nebraska story is it ends up with something good happening. An Ohio or Florida story never ends
It usually
well.
ends with a death or an arrest.
There's something stupid, yeah.
Yeah, something dumb.
Paramedics were racing to a 59-year-old man to the hospital. He had a dangerously rapid heartbeat of 200 beats per minute.
Damn.
When the ambulance hit a pothole, medics said the man's heartbeat suddenly returned to normal.
Okay.
Doctors say this is rare, but it can happen.
Oh, yeah.
One way to treat that is with an electrical shock. Classically, you'll see it on television. The paddles clear and a big jolt. Turns out you can do that with a pothole, one doctor said.
Wow.
Well, it's hard to... How do you put a pothole in the operating room? I'm not sure.
Wow.
Well,
But the man...
Figuring that Chicago is filled with nothing but potholes, a lot of people's lives are being saved right now.
That's where I was going to. I'm like, man, Chicago will save your life.
That's right. And the man is expected to fully recover.
Well, there you go.
I got two more. We'll make them really fast because there's one we have to get to. We'll skip over the fake officer who pulls over a real undercover officer in Florida. That's on our site. You can check that one out. But we had to get to this one because this one actually kind of goes with our show. So we talked about Hellboy and how Hellboy was probably going to have a bad week and it didn't have a real good week and all that kind of stuff. Well, perhaps one of the reasons why Hellboy might not have had a good week is, maybe you weren't maybe you didn't find the right movie. And the reason why I'm saying you may not have found the right movie is because in some towns, particularly this one town that I'm trying to figure out the name, where is this? Let's see, where the heck is this? This is in some sort of small town, and I'm trying to find a name, and they don't show me a name of it in any way, shape, or form. But they changed the name from Hellboy to Heckboy.
Oh.
On the sign, on the outside.
On the marquee. On the marquee. Boy.
They changed the name to Heckboy.
My God.
No.
Is it part of the Bible Belt or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Somewhere in the southern United States.
Yeah, in the Bible Belt.
The Bible Belt, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Heckboy.
like I said.
That's blasphemy. I'm not putting a hell on that screen, on that sign.
I'm not putting that on that marquee. Are you crazy?
I'm not putting that hell up there. I'm putting heck.
That's right. And if they want to find it, well, that's where they're going to look for it.
I can't believe
Heck
it.
yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck boy.
Heck yeah.
Heck
Wow.
boy. That's so bad. That's so horrible.
Yeah, I know. My God.
It's like. Well, here's a question. What about the parents that what? I shouldn't say parents. Well, no, actually, I take it back. What if there was a parent that took the kids and was like, we're just going to see Heckboy, and on the screen it said Hellboy, and he's like, hey, this is supposed to be Heckboy. We're in Hellboy. This is faulty advertising. I want looking for hell. Somebody should make a character named Heckboy now.
Don't be surprised if somebody's already got that in their gray matter.
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do. I mean, if you could go ahead and parody, any other character in the Marvel and DC universe, why not have a Heckboy with Hellboy?
Oh, God, that'd be hysterical.
That would be fucking crazy. That would be so good.
Now I'm trying to picture what Bellboy.
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 Movie.
Bellboy. That's their friend.
Hackboy and Bellboy.
Yeah.
It's his sidekick.
And just think, they could bring in Adam Sandler, and then they can bring in the Waterboy. God. Now I want to totally figure out a way to do what Heckboy would look like for the Bible Belt. Heckboy.
Yeah, he wearing a cape and he's got a Bible in his hand.
Yeah, or something like that.
Or some shit like that. He's got a big cross in his chest.
He probably looks like Gomer Pyle. Well, go away here.
Go away.
Yeah.
They call me Hackboy.
Well,
golly.
Good gosh almighty. I don't want him to say no word like hell. I said it.
Oh, no, H-E double hockey sticks.
Yep.
Jim Neighbors is Heckboy.
Yeah, really, seriously.
Bellboy.
With his sidekick Bellboy.
With his sidekick Bellboy. Ding. Get it?
Usher yourself to the theater.
They have the bat signal. We got the bat Bellboy. Ding. You know, this is really beginning to make me think this could be an amusing idea. A small town that has a hotel, and so there's not a lot of people. So when you ring the bell, the bellboy shows up, and he could be miles away, and he shows up because he's Bellboy.
Huh? He's got the speed of the Flash.
Or something like that.
He's got the speed of the Flash, the sense of canarchy as Deadpool, but with etiquette.
No, well, etiquette, but not really.
Not real etiquette.
Yeah.
Oh, shall I shoot you now? Okay, I'll shoot you.
It's not even that. It's like, can you? It's something like really? I was watching Game of Thrones. Seriously? I was in the middle of Avengers Endgame. What the hell? I didn't even go to the bathroom yet. Oh, man. All right. We've done enough with this, Mike.
Heckboy.
Mike,
Heckboy with his sidekick Bellboy. Oh, boy. Now I'm going to work on that a little bit.
Oh, God. Heckboy and Bellboy and Waterboy and Attaboy and I don't know.
Rhythm Man and Shuffle Boy.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Mike?
Yes? I'm just thinking of boy puns. I don't know.
I know. I'm sitting there what names have I not used yet with boy?
Waterboy. We did Waterboy.
Waterboy. Altar Boy. Oh, Altar Boy. There we go.
Altar Boy. There we go.
Yeah.
Altar Boy should be the sidekick to Hackboy.
Heckboy and Altar Boy.
Yeah, Hackboy and Altar Boy.
Hackboy and Altar Boy.
God. Oh, man.
Every time you hear the angels sing, Altar Boy is nearby.
Yeah, we're being called by a higher power.
And it's
So,
I think it's time for us to check out. But if you want to check us out, though,
ding.
we are on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on Anchor, anchor.fm/SOTRT. We are on Podbean. Either one of those apps, you can download, listen. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You'll find out when new episodes air. And we have an email as well, sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Why do I laugh so hard at the ding? I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay. Oh my God. Oh man. This is what happens before Avengers Endgame. We all crack.
I think we've been cracked long before that.
Oh
man.
my god.
Oh man.
God. Okay, well, thanks for being a part of. Thanks for being a part of Squares of the Roundtable podcast. For Ivan Rivera.
Yeah.
And Mike Boyle.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you,
Happy
Jeff.
birthday, Mike.
We'll be here to wish you a happy birthday next week.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. And we'll be talking a lot about Endgame next week. So
Yes, a whole lot of Endgame in for that one.
Yeah, very spoiler filled. Very spoiler
It's gonna be a fine 49, man. So we hope to see you then, everybody.
Absolutely. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. And all I can say is one more thing. Ding.
What? Ding.
Whatever it takes.